up, guys? Dom here. Rita here.
Hey,
We're recording the 6th episode of Online Survival 4. There's
gosh.
going to be a lot of drama here, so let's get
Woo. Spicy.
it.
This is the episodes just get spicier and spicier. Like you
I
just start to
know.
see like how everything kind of can turn to just shit. And
Craziness.
this is when it's like just building. It's just tension, 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 and then as you'll see
And
on the
you could
episode.
just feel it in the air where you're like, what's
Mm-hmm.
wrong, bro? What's wrong,
Yeah,
bro?
right, right. Who did you vote for? And that, oh yeah, let's get into it. Who did you vote for? Who did you
Bro.
vote for? Who did you
Okay,
vote for?
we gotta, there was one part where I was like, dying. I was like, Susan, she had us awful. She had us awful.
Susan and I think Rihanna caught it. I'm like, who the fuck?
He did catch it. He did catch
Yeah.
it. And I think Emily was catching it too a little bit. But
Yeah.
and
I was
I
just
was
like,
like, I think at this point I was just like, it didn't really matter to me
that's what I
because like I
thought too. I was
was
like,
about to
it's
vote.
like I felt like Ashley was trying to hype it more than it need to be. Cause she's like, who'd you vote for? Dom? Who voted for Dom? I'm like, why are you on me like this? I'm like, y'all just trying to get me out anyway. So I'm like, I'll just keep fucking
Right.
winning because I'm like, I don't trust none of this shit.
Right. Yeah. And it was just like because I think she said she originally she didn't care, but it definitely felt like that, like she cared, so it was just like I think she was trying to figure out who was doing what at that point.
Yes. And at that point, it was just like, yeah, it was like the Inspector Gadget for real.
Expected Gadget.
It was definitely like some. It was nuts.
Let's see if I can get this bigger. Okay, here we go. And yeah, so we are going to start episode 6 now. We hope more people come. I think people may be still a little bit mad because of the seasons, but that's okay. There's no hostility. I'm going to repeat that. No hostility. It was a game. We all played to the best of our ability. Some people were playing checkers and some people were playing chess, and it's okay. Like those were the most strategic. Honestly, I think my top 2 people that were the most strategic so far has been Riazo and Ashley. Like they played a very good game. They were like they everyone was like on pins and needles when like we didn't know what was going on. So we were like trying to adapt to like their gameplay and it was brilliant.
Chess for checkers at times. There was definitely some chess moves and some psychology of it, some 48 powers of law
Yeah.
that I can read a couple books and learn from just seeing this. This
Yes,
is
absolutely.
definitely a science to it.
Absolutely. But there is no bad blood with me. Dom.
Yeah, and I don't I it is not that deep. Like we didn't even
We
get to
are
like see each
not
other in life.
offended.
So
Yeah.
it is
It
very
was a
simple.
game.
It's just a game. You know what I'm saying? We don't get an island out of this. Is it on a cruise or a yacht? You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
it was fun.
Oh man. Okay, let's get started. Let's see what orchestrated.
Voted out the sixth grade.
Dang. Sorry, Dom.
Oh. Star, if you have any last words, you can say them. It's cool. Not cool. I know, it's fine. For now, you must go. See you. Go, I'm gonna get your stuff to hook up for modeling.
Dang, look at the faces of everyone.
Who does he show up? Who did he show up?
Bro, okay, hang on. Sorry, before we start this. Rialzo's face throughout this whole freaking thing had the best, like, just nonchalantness of like not showing any emotion. Like, it was funny. Or like he would be like smiling and you're like, I know something's happening right now.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
what.
Oh, the dog. Yeah, I voted for Dar.
I voted for not.
Why? I was surprised. I really was. I got nothing to say against you. I just want to know who.
Yeah, I'll say I voted for Dora and I'll say why. I mean, he's so hard to read, Like, I'm not aligned with him, so I can't read anything. And earlier, when I was trying to talk game or like suggest somebody who wasn't even Dar, I didn't get any response. He started laughing. That put suspicion up for me. So that was what I did with my information, how I felt. I go.
So
Yeah, you voted me.
I was told that I did not expect it to be a third vote for Tabitha.
I was honestly surprised. Like somebody must be thinking how I'm thinking, or they genuinely just want Tabitha out. Because I was like, what if I vote Tabitha and put it on somebody else?
Dude,
then-
she would have been
And
out
they're
if that was the
vote for
case.
Tabitha. I was really surprised.
Definitely.
3 for Tabitha. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, because like what that would have been like what? Hang on. So if there was how many people was it? 9?
Yeah. Was 8? Yeah. So it was 8. He had 6, but I think it's 5-3.
5-3. So
Yeah.
okay, so it would have been 5-4. So it would have like she wouldn't have been voted out just yet, but
Mm-hmm.
dang, that would have been close.
I'm not surprised. I think one of the votes, still trying to figure out who that was, but yeah, definitely was Jar and Muncie. I'm not surprised that that happened.
They didn't even show all the votes. They didn't even show all the votes.
That third person that voted for Tabitha, you don't automatically voted for Dar.
Susan, she didn't say anything.
Vote. Shout the vote. That was funny.
What's funny is like there's a scene where she's like, they didn't ask me who I voted, so I didn't say nothing. And I was like, girl, I was implied.
Yeah.
I was like, it was so implied because
It was so implied, like, yo, well, I was like, who's not saying? In my mind, I'm thinking,
because Muggsy asked outright everyone, right, who voted Dar, right? And then like everyone else spoke up, but like maybe like what, 1 or 2 people? Oh man.
I knew that everybody else was voting for Dar. So I thought since I talked to Mugsley or whatever, she was kind of hinting about Tabitha. So what I thought I'd do is if I said Tabitha, first off, everybody would get totally confused, like who did it, whatever, like they did. And to me, it's like I got to start worrying about the jury, because the jury, like I said before, is like your friends.
I wasn't even worried about that.
Yeah.
It's like,
That was
how
way
many
part
people
two.
can I get out before I get out?
Straight up. Right.
Muggsy, did you, or do you know if Dar like talked to anybody or?
He said he votes everybody.
Who did Dar vote then? See,
But I don't know. You're saying you voted, you know what I mean?
So someone's
He
lying.
said he spoke to everybody, so if that was fake,
How many
then
people voted?
Oh, no, wait,
Who's
no,
lying?
you said you spoke to
It's so
vote.
I still got my paper.
Who did you vote for Dar?
Me?
Yeah.
I voted for Don. Yeah. They like
But
that.
I thought you and Dar were.
Wait, see, what was that about?
Yeah, you see?
Bro,
I
because
was-
Susan didn't answer anything. And
Susan
you
just like, they didn't show the
said,
vote.
like, you said right in the beginning, you're like, I voted Dar, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, why do you keep asking me? But then it was just
She
like,
was
that's,
riding you hard,
and she
bro.
was, and I think that was I think Ashley even knew in the back of her mind Susan voted for Tabitha, but she was damn near trying to keep that alliance to be like, all right, let's see if I can get
I
the
don't
team
know
to
if
go
Susan
against.
actually told her though. I don't think
Did she not?
did.
Yeah, because then she would kind of take her out of her. I don't know.
Right, because she probably would have been like, well, why would you vote Tabitha when we're all supposed to be like in alignment together? And that's why she didn't say anything. Yeah,
But she definitely came at me pretty hard.
yeah.
That's what I was, yeah.
He was-
Rialzo, I feel like at
He
this
was
point
like,
already
I just
knows.
Joined the squad. So when I heard what he was
Yeah, I know.
with Emily, and I was
I
like,
mean, it makes sense though, because he knew that he had a sense that he was feeling like, you know,
it's gonna be a prison night tomorrow.
he was feeling like it was him, so he definitely had to figure out where his numbers were at.
Why didn't they only show 6 votes though? Why was there only 6
It
votes?
was already done. If you know who you
I
voted,
mean,
maybe you voted for. Like that's what I'm saying. Somebody.
I already said I voted for Dar.
Right, but I'm just saying they don't count, like 2 other votes don't count?
Can't wait to see. It was Susan. Slow explanation, maybe go back and watch it. I'm out, man.
You know what's so funny is why didn't Rialzo like out her?
Because I think he was just like, because I think it started getting obvious. Like, Susan just kept saying the thing, like, Susan, that doesn't even matter. Why they didn't show the votes? It's like, Susan, everybody's asking who voted. And it's just like, Emily, even Mary said she voted for Dar. It was just like, just by process of elimination. It's only so many places.
Right. But what's funny is like, because I think, I don't know, it was like, it was kind of depicted that Riaza was like trying to start like kind of like a fight during like the last like our current elimination after this one. And so I'm like, well, why didn't he just out Susan? Because that shit would have been hilarious.
I would have been hilarious if he, yeah, because I mean, Riazzo definitely he had the charm there. He had the angles.
Right. Oh man. The music, Nick. Come on.
That's your drawings or like our?
Yeah, that's all my art.
Oh, I didn't mean to block you guys. I'm so sorry.
I've been.
We're just hanging out in my house. I can't part with it.
I think did you say I blocked you yesterday in the chat with Bugsy? And I was like, what you mean, bro?
Oh yeah, I meant the other way. I felt like I meant to say that Maxie was trying to block us from like chat. That's what I meant it as.
I was like, I'm so sorry, my bad.
Now, the funniest thing is, when I look back at this, I definitely could have had Mugsy like on our squad because me and
You
Mugsy
could
like,
have. She trusted you for sure.
yeah,
Like the way
yeah,
that she was interacting, she was very like comfortable. And
yeah.
yeah, you would have just like blatantly asked her, like, hey, do you want to be like our vote? And then you could, dude, like you could have totally ran that plan by us and we would
Exactly,
probably
should have ran it
been
by
on
you because
board.
yeah, I know. I think it was, yeah. I don't know when I don't know if we talked after this, but I just was like, dang. When I
No.
looked back on it, I was like, damn, me and Maxie were really kind of tight though.
Yeah, and like the thing is like we could have used her to just get like Ashley
Oh
out right
yeah,
away, you know,
yeah.
or
That is
Tabitha. So it's just
super
like,
hindsight. I'm looking like, damn, why did? Yeah.
Dom, we had that much trust, bro. Like you could have just did
We
it.
did. That's what I look back. I was like, damn. I don't know if it was just because Muggsy was just so wild that I'm like, well, she's flippant. But after I
Right.
look back, I'm like, I could have definitely had Muggsy like pouring out my hand because I'm like, well,
Yeah.
I'll just be her next dart essentially because
Well,
she was just
because
like,
because like at that point, like our hit list wasn't like it wasn't like an indefinite hit list. Like
no.
we were always like playing like, hey, who are we gonna pick next? Who are we gonna pick next? And we were just
Uh-huh.
throwing games. So it was just like we could
It's
have
crazy
picked
because if we
at
looked at the
any
numbers, it's
time.
just like we know how strong that other team, you know, and I think Riazza was just kind of like, well, he was the one who was kind of like, do we keep this or do we kind of just, go toe to toe with them? So,
Exactly.
but then, yeah, I was just like, damn.
Should have did it. Should have did it.
You got anything like that? You ain't trying to.
I just do it for me. Like,
Okay.
I don't think about what I'm doing when I do it. It just comes
Oh,
out.
Mugsy.
I love
You
it.
guys are vibing. I love it.
Super, yeah.
That's soccer knowledge. Hey, that's what it's all about. Gotta be balanced on soccer every now and then.
You gotta do that shit every day. People are crazy.
Hey, yeah. What you say? I'm always still gonna meditate.
I love how spiritual this got too.
That's super there. She's talking about 5D. I was like, yep.
Really is. We are ascending into 5D. And
Yeah.
Bro, side note though, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt this conversation. Have you seen the cover of Jimi Hendrix's like CD album?
It's what, like his back in the day one?
Yeah, like that shit's fucking wild. Because I'm studying intro into world religions right now,
Okay.
and he has like a Native American background, which it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
specify like what native he's from. So like it could
Mm-hmm.
have been like somewhere from Africa,
Indigenous. Okay.
Asia, something like whatever. But anyways, he had his I think it was Axis, I think is what it's called. And his cover it literally represents like all like the major like deities or gods from Hinduism. And then he's
Wow.
like in front. And like that shit, like that cover is crazy.
That's
And I
wild.
guess and it offended the Hindu the like Hindu community or like religion, but I'm wondering if he actually had some like if he was
He
like
might have had it.
had some
Yeah.
Indian in him, because I actually have some Indian in me,
Yeah.
like actual like from Asia, India. So I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
so I'm
Very
like
different.
that could have been a possibility.
I wouldn't doubt it because that's detail that not many people would understand.
Well, because he was so out there. He was like his
Yes.
music was just so out there. He was out there as an individual, and it was just like you know, like he was ahead of his times. But anyways, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
they can't level up, and that's why people want to bring you down.
It's not wrong.
I do a lot of frequency and different revelation.
Things we can talk about is all night. We have a lot in common.
Yeah. Rhythm.
Rumpelstiltskin.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was trying to make sure that I'm good with everybody.
Tabitha, don't be sad, face. I need to talk to you about something.
I
So
didn't talk to me.
turn that frown upside down.
Yeah, that vote last night really threw me off. I was like,
It had to be that way.
Should have been able to talk to Moxie a little longer at that
So-
point on a one-on-one.
What's that?
Instead, I think if I'd have talked to Moxie a little bit longer on the one-on-one, I could have learned a little bit more. I think it was just because like she just had changed in that moment that I was just like, I don't know if I could understand if she'd fully like be there because she was definitely not like this all the time. I think also.
No, she wasn't. But honestly, like anytime that I talked to Muggsy, she wasn't like hostile towards me or anything like that.
She was a hot
so-
dog. She just was so like going so many different places. I'm just like, can you manage
The
something?
the only people she was really hostile towards was Tabitha and I think maybe Mary for like a little bit.
Yeah, Mary. Yeah, she just kind of just was like,
And then she was just like she was just outspoken. It wasn't like anything like aggressive
was it
towards
crazy?
everyone. But
Yeah.
I mean she didn't have to call people out of context, but
Yeah,
like
yeah. I think that was just like, yo, she about to be.
like she didn't have to be like that, but
Yeah. I think that was just part of it. Like, yo, she is wild. It's just like,
yeah.
how do you
'Cause
tame that?
even Emily at the end, that shit was hilarious when Muggsy was like, "This is my best friend's group," and,
Mhm.
and then Emily, like, I could tell Emily was getting so annoyed, and I was like, "Oh my
Mhm.
god, this is hilarious right now."
Upside down.
I'm good. I'm chilling. I'm good. Okay,
Yeah,
it's
but
all
the-
good. I don't take shit personally. So at the end
Are
of
you
the day,
good,
I'm
girl?
gonna
Are
play
you
this
good?
game, but
You can tell she's taking it
yeah,
serious.
sure. If you want to chat, let's chat.
I just thought it was crazy that Muggsy tried to um backtrack what she said about Tabitha last night. That was really funny to watch, and I just hope Tabitha sees through it and knows that like it's just her trying to damage control. It was very obvious to me at least, because from what I've heard from other people and Muggsy's behavior, I think she meant every single word she said last night.
So to make things have more of an exciting thing going on, since no one was doing anything, no one was making anything exciting. Right? This is what was happening. So to make something happen, and Dar was trying to get his way to make everyone sort of happy-go-lucky into certain directions, and I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. I had to stir things up because I'm Megan with New York attitude. So during that whole thing in front of everyone, I had to say that I hated someone.
Bro. Do you,
Let's
okay,
say-
wait. Do you believe her?
Hell no. See,
Because her anger was so real from the
like you
beginning.
can't,
like,
yeah. Like
She's
I
like-
don't know. She
like-
does.
was that one initial scene where she was like, "What's her name? Tabitha or something," and she was like, "I can't fucking stand her," and I was like, "That shit was genuine, bro."
Yeah, that was a real like Like,
Do you
you
think,
you
like-
felt the passion there.
Yeah.
You can't the conviction was there. You can't be like, oh well, I don't, you know what I'm saying? She's not that type of actress. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? That
God.
was real like, I don't like you.
Do you
I don't like your
think that
thoughts.
she like changed her thought process after she was like, "Oh shit, Dar's not here anymore"?
That's what I felt like. I'm like, yo, she just came with a whole different angle of like,
Yeah.
I think if she didn't try to be super love, like it'd have been okay. But I think she came super like, yeah, let's just. It's like you are not kumbaya. That is not the personality that you are on. You know exactly how you kind of are. And I'm like, if she would have stayed with that, but with a like, yo, let's kind of look at this. I think it'd have been. It could have been a conversation. I think she just. I didn't think she realized that where she was standing at that point. Like I always felt like I always had to feel like, where am I standing within the game? Do I have
Right.
enough? Is there enough here? Will I feel like I'm gonna get voted? I always felt like you had to at least have that. And it's just like, if I
You
feel
know
like I
what?
need to get to a line, then let's talk.
I have to say that I think there was maybe like once or twice I was like, maybe they're gonna like try to vote me out. But ultimately, I think my ultimate game was just to get out as many people as I could get out. Like I wasn't even looking at the final two at that point. I was like, if it's you, me, or Emily, like then like that's gold for me. Like I don't fucking care who wins. Like I just want to get as many people out as I can. Cause at that point I wasn't even worried about people on the jury. Like who's gonna vote me? And like I wasn't thinking about that, which is like the
Yeah.
weird part about it.
Yeah. And I'm just thinking, yeah, how far can you make it in this? Because now there's an
Right.
investment.
Right. I don't know. Yeah.
I was just like, Tabitha, I hate you.
Cause she's like saying, like when she cussed me out in front of all of you guys yesterday, she's like, that was just like a show. She's like, I had to put somebody under the bus, and she's like, nobody was saying anything, so I kind of had to stir stuff up. But my question, is,
I
like,
was biting my tongue
so
so
she
hard.
voted for me, and I know Dar voted for me, so I'm like, who was the third person that voted me out?
Yeah.
I've literally been thinking about that since the day.
Look at
Meg,
Susan's face. It's like she's saying it. Look at her face.
The
Oh my god.
shade, bro. The shade.
Look at her
I
face.
know, and no one is paying attention but Rihanna.
Rihanna's like, bruh, do you see this? If I was in this chat, I'd have been like, shit, the writings of the but look
Bro,
at
if I
her.
was in the chat, I'm like, Susan, are you okay? Like,
Susan was on something. She might be on a
not
Quaalude. What the
happy.
fuck?
Susan, I need you to get off this.
That is
I honestly want to know what was happening. Like, what was she thinking about right now? Like,
that
at that,
moment. What the hell was she thinking? She's thinking about some shit.
I know.
Her
I
face
wonder if
says,
she was just like trying to like kind of like, like
hold it
concoct.
in.
Yeah, we're like just trying to think about like different strategies, like how she could approach this, like maybe that's what she was thinking about. But like
'Cause, yeah.
no one caught this. Like they're all just
Yeah,
like
they're all
maybe
just into the whole
Rihanna.
thing, but that look is with Susan is hilarious. That shit might be.
They're just like zooming in.
The super zoom would be nuts.
I love it. All right.
Possibly. Look at how he did. Yeah, because why? I mean, all of a sudden he's gonna.
Oh
I don't
wait,
know. I don't see him
this
taking
was
out the
this
other
was
guy.
her blaming you, right?
Yep.
Shit.
Yeah, she's like saying, like when she cussed me out in front of all of you guys yesterday, she's like, that was just like a show. She's like, I had to put somebody under the bus, and she's like, nobody was saying anything, so I kind of had to stir stuff up. But my question,
I
like,
was biting my tongue
so
so
she
hard.
voted for me, and I know Dar voted for me, so I'm like, who was the third person that voted me out?
Yeah.
I've literally been thinking about that
I've been
since the
thinking
vote. I'm
about
like,
that.
And I think it was Dom.
Possibly. Look at how he did. Yeah, because why? I mean, all of a sudden he's
The
gonna.
lie of it
I don't know, I
all.
don't see him picking out the other guy. Like, I don't know. What do you?
And Rizo, this is where I know when you guys had that conversation, and then you and I had that one-on-one, some stuff that you had said to me about me being a target. So to me, like, that was the only person that
The
I
only
feel
thing
that I could have got a vote from.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cause everybody,
never-
well, we've all been on the same page, and we all wanted Dar out, and then when I
Definitely didn't say nothing right there. Like I literally said, I voted for Dar. Like
I was like, okay, whatever.
Wait, say that again.
I'm shocked that Emily and I'm shocked even Rihanna didn't say nothing right there. For both of them,
Right, dude, because like that would have been like if I was in that chat, I would have been like, he didn't vote for you.
yeah, I've been like, I literally, yeah, I would have been like, yo, I said it 3 fucking times.
Like, because I would have been like, that's like, like we had like, I would have been like, hey, like I came to Dom and Emily, let's vote Dar. Like, I would have told them right
Yeah.
then and there, like,
Boom,
that was
right
my
there.
idea. What you mean? So no, like, or Tabitha, you weren't even a thought.
Right, exactly. You didn't even have the fit yet because it's like,
I
all right,
know.
Dar's.
Oh man.
I don't know if that was just like now I just don't know. And like her coming in the group chat and saying that was like on purpose, I'm
I
like,
don't think so.
I think she feels that
Gotta
she's
cover her
next.
tracks.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's trying to, yeah, she's gonna be, I mean, think about it. She's now, I mean, like.
she
she's
also
probably
said
gonna be-
that she was confident that she didn't need the idol.
yeah.
It's a show. It's a show.
I mean, it's like she went on and said it, And now she's like, uh-oh, she should not have, like, maybe Phil should not have said it, and now, like, it's like trying to do damage control or something.
Yeah.
Right. That third vote for Tabitha, it's like either what she said in that moment worked and scared people, and people were like,
So who
oh
voted?
shit,
You
maybe
guys voted for that?
we have no
You
idea.
don't know.
I know I voted for Dr. Sweet. I know that was our plan.
I mean, I just think that it might be Rhea, so.
Ooh.
Because Dawn seems more upfront about that,
And see, that's the other crazy part is like you were so upfront the entire time, but
Yeah, but-
everyone thought you were this mystery because you were so analytical and
Yeah.
and you were like quiet at times, but it wasn't like a bad quiet. It was just like you had to say what you had to say and that was it. And
But I was trying to observe to see like the different ways things were moving. So I was just like,
Yeah.
let these people talk themselves into either going to destruction or what they are, really actually trying to say. And that's
Right.
exactly how it started to get.
Well,
It's
see, and
just-
it's for me, I think it kind of just crazy again because it's like Emily started to doubt you and I as far as like trusting, and like I don't think I ever doubted you or Emily.
That's what
Um,
that's what, and the funny thing is, as we get into this, it makes more sense of why I think they, things started to
Yeah.
happen that way because they couldn't stay consistent in their own mind. So
Consistent, right? And like I think you and I were the ones that were consistent.
at least consistent, right? Like you said,
Yeah.
Riaz was playing his strategy and he was consistent in that, but he was not consistent in everything else. So I'm like, I can see
He wasn't
Riaz.
consistent. He wasn't consistent on what we thought.
Yeah, exactly. He started getting himself in a web that he couldn't get himself out.
Right. And then like who was consistent on their team? It was probably what Ashley and
Ashley.
Mary.
Mary is very kind of just dedicated, and I don't.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, I didn't feel like Mary ever was just like, let me kind of push to be like, I want to be in the front. Like it always felt like she was more of just kind of following along. It's just
She
like
was I think she was just more timid and
Mhm.
she didn't know what to do, like what to do, like and have like confidence, like kind of orchestrating it. So I think that's why she kind of stayed like
kind of
behind.
stay behind on it.
Yeah.
You know, like he straight out said he voted for Dar. And just the way he said about who he's voting for seems more upfront, whereas Riazzo's positive. Riazzo's like has a very good vibe, but this guy could be on either side.
Yeah,
That
I
was
stuck
the
to the
plan.
plan too.
Hello.
Oh God, I felt like I was gone for ages. No, I'm just kidding.
Good, how are you?
You just like jump in and like like the middle.
I know.
We don't know.
That's off the chain, yo. It's off the-
She's gotta go next. I mean, it's
Right,
just
that's what I'm
like
saying, like, that's what I thought we gotta get.
Who got voted out?
Dark stuff.
dark. But listen to this. There were.
Oh,
three
well,
votes for
yeah.
Tabitha. We voted Dark. He voted Tabitha, but there was another, and we don't know. And Nick basically, Nick basically did this thing that he's like asking everybody how they feel about each other. And then when it was Muggsy talking about Tabitha, he's like, you're two-faced, I don't like you, all this stuff.
It was bad. It was bad.
I think it was gonna be that crazy. I mean, why?
Oh, that's right. I forgot I had that stupid block a vote too.
Oh, I didn't know you had that.
I forgot I had that shit too. I had 2 advantages. Oh my God, I don't even remember if I used it or not. Well, we'll see.
Dun 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 dun.
I think I did use it. I think I did.
How's what?
How was the island that you got sent to? Like, what was it?
No, it was paradise. Listen,
Was-
gotta make the most of it. You have to have
So
a
anything cool?
cookout.
Anything cool happened? My time.
My time. Yeah, my drink. I don't drink. It's a virgin my time.
Okay.
How's everything here?
Oh, shit.
Dom, I feel like you and I were vibing so high that we were not paying attention.
Yeah, half the times that's why it was just always just like we could just vibe. It'll just be on some, it's just
I
some other thing.
know, because it was like if we got to like kind of like their demeanor, like the mood would have just been so like low, and we would have been like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is like that's probably what I would if I would have like if we weren't talking like just so happily and like I was like observing, like I probably been like, what the fuck is going on? Like you guys okay there?
Yeah. Right.
You don't know.
Kind of crazy.
Feel lit.
It's getting kind of personal now.
It is getting kind of personal. Now that's what I'm saying. Now we get to the bottom area and it's like,
Oh no.
Outside of time.
Oh, out of time.
all right, y'all.
All right, Don.
That's the thing, like I'm not like taking anything personal. I don't know, like it's a game. at
Some
the end of the
people
day.
are.
Like
Right.
what it is.
Some
dude,
people
like,
are.
I mean, I don't know what
Was
to tell you.
Susan, was Emily out of time, or did she just leave? Say she's coming
I don't know. I don't know. Like, I really don't know. Did Nick say anything? I don't know if it said she was out of time or.
You know what was very interesting to me last night? How Nick was asking everyone like their perceptions on each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it stopped.
That was
Like,
very interesting. That's what happened, Rita, at Tribal. Nick was asking around, what do
Yeah.
you think of so and so, and you know, and then Muggsy just went off on Tabitha. It was insane.
I don't get the hostility there. I
Muggsy
really
was like, I don't like you.
yeah, it was like not she didn't start it off very nice. She just goes, I don't like you. Like, like that was the first sentence out of her mouth. It was like, what the hell?
Well, first
she's honest.
she told Nick, I'm waiting on it. I know you want to ask me. And so he said, okay, Muggsy, how you feel about Tabitha?
I'm still like trying to decide who's better for my game to work with, you know, like too many options. Susan, it was interesting to me when they were talking about I was like such a mystery. I didn't like think people thought of me like that.
Bro, you are a mystery.
Mission of what is Riazo?
Know us until he said something about you were on the other team, but
Yeah.
you know, we didn't want you to go. That's the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Oh no, for sure. I
Yeah.
was wondering about it. I was like, is that like a good thing or like, you know, I just wanted to.
Well, and nobody said anything bad. Everybody was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like that was too. Like we wanted him on our team, and then we found out you were on the other team, and at least you were still there. So you know.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Last round was just so crazy. I just had to like confirm, you know.
You're just like a neutral like player. Like you have like a great vibe. Like there's nothing.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's kind of hard. It's gonna be hard for me moving forward. So I'm gonna have to cut people off that you know trust me.
You know why I think people were so paranoid was because like there was so much talking going around, and I know I didn't talk that much about like Riazo or Susan in a negative way, but not like how they were talking. Like Riazo like kind of threw me and Jason under the bus by saying like, hey, we were really strong players, but made it like come off in a way like where it was like something positive and not negative. And like that put a target on our backs. And then it was just like, you know, Susan getting mad at Jason. And I think it was just like a lot of like projection where it was just
Super
like,
projection. And they
yeah, it
definitely
was
try
just
to make
like,
it like
I didn't talk. I was like, Riazo is this neutral player. Like, I don't remember ever saying anything like negative about him. And then I think the only thing I said about Susan that I don't think was negative, it was just truth, was her like not participating. And so it was just a lot of like this, I felt like projection that like maybe other people were giving off to like us.
always
Because,
this misinformation to like make it
yeah,
more than it is. Like, okay, now
right.
we're pushing
Making you-
Tabitha, so their angle's like, all right, dude, take Dom out. And it's just like, well, when did I even
Right.
come in? And Susan was still so like into that. And she was like in the
Right.
web of Ashley to where it's just like, but
The
then
web of
she's the one who voted for Tabitha, but then just kept going like, I didn't, yeah. And it's just
Yeah.
like, Susan
Now,
is definitely.
now that I'm looking back at it, so because yeah, it was just like a lot of projection because like there was just like so much weird like hostility that didn't need to be because it's a game, so it was just like it was funny.
Uh-huh.
And Riazo, never trust him again.
He's hilarious.
So I'm gonna be doing the game where I'm gonna give people 3 different options of cities. You are to guess which city is the least amount of miles between them traveling in a car. This could be in the US.
Oh, so bad, this game.
That's our Canadians here. Maybe even a random country, but this is how you will have to guess. But the twist is.
Bro, he was saying names, so I was like, what are you talking about,
So-
Nick?
Guess name was just on. Phew.
I'll turn a second, or I will do it randomly if I have to. The people that go together, are to write the answer, either A, B, or C. Whoever wants to answer first can. If that person is right, they stay in the game. If that person is wrong, they're out of the game, and the person with them is still in the game. So if you're gonna answer first, you wanna be right, or you're gonna be out of the game. But if nobody answers within the 15 to 20-second time limit, then both players will be out of the game. So someone's gonna have to answer. You can't just sit there and not answer. Any volunteers who wants to go first?
Not me, I need anybody.
Okay.
I will, I'll go first.
Okay, Susan, you could choose who you want to challenge first. Who do you want to go against?
I want to challenge,
Who do you want to go against?
Mugsley.
That part made me laugh because Bugsy specifically said, I don't want to go first.
I didn't even. That's funny. And that's you know what's funny? I'm thinking like Susan challenge Muggsy is kind of random as fuck anyway. But I think maybe her thought is just like to get the Tabitha part out.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Well,
Here's the first options. Option A is Atlanta, Georgia to Orlando, Florida. B, New Orleans to Santa Fe, New Mexico. Or C, Pittsburgh to
I think it's
Washington.
like 16 hours, isn't it?
Repeat.
I'm just sitting here thinking of the time.
Saw Muggsy first, who wrote A. She was wrong, however. B is also wrong, but Muggsy answered first, so Muggsy is the C, Pittsburgh to Washington, DC.
So, I mean, she's still kind of oblivious, I think, to where she, put herself up on that kind of pedestal. So, I mean, shit. It's just glad she was the first one out.
Were you talking about Bugsy?
Yeah.
You could say which 2 players you want to go next. You don't have to go, but 2 other players do.
2 players to go.
Yes, choose
Next.
2 to go. Yes.
Okay, Dom and Tabitha.
All right, here is the next. Oh, wow, this might be in Tabitha's favor.
Dom, you play this game
There are the
well,
cities
dude.
You're going into this question.
That's funny by Susan really even picking me to go against Tabitha. She's just like, all right, the vote there. Because if that's really smart on her end, because if they say I voted for Tabitha and it's like, all right, well, let's see what's gonna happen here.
Dude, you play this game so well. I was like, hell yeah.
Bitch. Just get on that run.
A is Calgary, Alberta, Canada, to Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. B, Winnipeg, Manitoba,
No,
Canada,
I wouldn't
to
have done
Thunder
any
Bay,
of those.
Ontario, Canada. Or C, Ottawa to Bangor, Maine. Tabitha answers first. Should have been in Tabitha's bag, but she is wrong. Actually, A, Calgary.
Yes, I got it. Yeah.
Dude, you were right. You don't have to answer, but you were right. Sorry, Tom.
This is
Bro,
gonna be
how
so
did you
crazy.
get these? Like,
There's a
yeah.
couple of when I just was like, this just seems like it's close. Like, especially Canada. I'm like, this just seems like that just should be that.
You were so good. I was like, what? I was like, how
This
did
is
he
some of them I just do so much traveling with work that I'm like, I just know the distance, right? Like you guys, I was like, Pittsburgh, Washington, D.C., like how do you not think about that? Like that would have definitely feels like just from the time standpoint.
That makes sense.
A, Denver, Colorado to Phoenix, Arizona. B, Sacramento, California to Portland, Oregon. Or C, Omaha, Nebraska to Houston, Texas.
Phoenix, right?
I saw Mary first. She was wrong. It was B, Sacramento to Portland.
Let's go.
I don't think I've been to any of those.
Eliminate. Ashley, please choose 2 players to go against each other.
Let's do Dom and Emily.
There is your options. This is a tough one. So good luck whoever answers first. Is it A, Blackpool, England to London, England? B, Leeds, England to Cambridge, England, or C, Liverpool, England to Southampton, England.
Yeah.
Dom has answered first with B. He is correct.
Damn,
Dom,
bro.
lucky
You
guess.
want that smoke? Kevin, you want that smoke?
Mhm.
Dom, please choose two people to go against each other. Rizzo and Rita. The A, New York City to Philadelphia. B, Charlotte, North Carolina to Charleston, South Carolina. Or C, Cleveland, Ohio to Columbus, Ohio. B was the first answer. It's incorrect.
No, I said C.
But that's also incorrect. It is A, New York to Philadelphia.
Also incorrect.
That's awesome.
Susan and Ashley.
By the way, the winner of this will be immune because the other two have to go against each other. So this is a big one between Susan and Ashley. A, Toronto to Boston. B, Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada to Eugene, Oregon. Or C, Montreal, Quebec, Canada to Baltimore, Maryland.
B.
B is correct. Susan, you have
Yeah.
immunity this year.
Wow. Wow, I never won anything.
Aww.
I don't
That was a
think
big
they
win for Susan.
who I am, or like have.
Dude, I was only there by chance. I'm not gonna lie, because I was, yeah, that was correct. But good on Susan. Shit, she showed up for herself. Like,
She did. She did. That's the only thing in hindsight with Jason. Like, I think Jason could have still been able to sort of talk Susan into that, and then we could have. I think we would have definitely got Ashley out at that point.
yeah, yeah.
So I think Jason kind of looks back on it, and it was just like, I think Susan was really still kind of out.
I
She was out.
know. 'Cause she trusted Jason. She did.
She did, and then Ashley just broke her into to the cycle, the psychology of it.
Yeah. Should have that one more meeting, Jason. It's
Mhm.
okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, one night, but I just gave
We got the rest
like
of it. It's
Ashley
fine.
and Mary a chance to play with them, you know what I mean? And to them, it looked stupid, but I thought I was doing the right thing.
I'm actually shocked that Susan got immunity, like yay for her. Definitely was shocking. Like she showed up for herself, so I think that's awesome.
I think it's great Susan won immunity. I was happy for her because they were saying her name. Emily using her name as a pawn. I'm like, Emily, you're not even really working with her.
Wait. When did Emily use her as a pawn though? See,
So I
that's
was
what
about to say.
like what is all
When
of
did that happen? Because I didn't even hear Emily say anything about Susan, even in our chats. Like I'm saying, when did that happen?
I think maybe Emily said something about like her gameplay, but I don't actively remember Emily saying anything about Susan being a pawn. See, that's why I'm like it makes me have to like go back and see what the hell
Even
she's
see, because I did. That's not even Emily's like character. Like she wouldn't be that up front like that. That's not how she presents it. So
not
that's
to Ashley anyways. Like
definitely
why
not
would
to
you
Ashley.
tell Ashley
I mean,
that?
what she said to Ashley about her immune, that's the shit. The only thing. That's the only time she fucked up. You don't.
Well, she
you
was
know-
trying to be strategic and she was trying to get Ashley to like out her thing that she had and it didn't work. But yeah,
it backfired.
she even said she was like, I don't know why the fuck I said that shit.
Yeah, she just got too comfortable at that point with an
Yeah.
outsider.
Why are you using Susan's name as a pawn and you're not even really trying to work with her? So I was really glad that Susan got immunity because now I don't really have to worry about them trying to get me to say her name or me having to stand my ground and say I'm not saying her name or, having to, use the rules in the deceiving handbook, for the game.
She even said deceive
Little
me.
Rock, Arkansas to Houston, Texas. B, Oklahoma
Don't
City.
They deceive.
Or C, Tucson, Arizona to Las Vegas, Nevada.
Did I say C? Yeah, that says
I
C.
saw C first. It was actually B.
Damn!
Dom, you have immunity. Yeah.
Oh, congratulations. Dom.
Congrats, Dom. See, this is me. I second guess myself all the time.
I'm just like I'm going straight with it.
The two of them that one, just because I know that they've been like battling back and forth. on my radar just because I think he is such a strong player.
I was sad.
And see, Tabitha never told us that. She never said, "Hey, Dom's like, what do you guys think about voting Dom?" As soon as
Yeah,
she told that to like me and Emily, we were like, "What?"
right, right.
But
About it, you know, like Dom is.
If I didn't win that challenge, I thought with them I could have definitely been voted out. Because I know Rialzo definitely could have been swaying that way.
I'm just glad.
did you still? Oh wait, no. Did you have anything else besides your immunity that you just won, or no?
I think that was the thing I had won, yeah, because I'm like, as everybody was losing, I'm like, I'm definitely not gonna not have my shit. Because I'm just like, I'm gonna have to be able to pull this. Because I'm like, from Dar to even, yeah, I was just like, if you have some, you better use it. You don't trust nothing. There
Yeah.
ain't no guarantees but what you got. So that's all I was thinking with that.
One challenge, and I hope this gives her like a confidence boost so she doesn't feel like she's on the bottom of the chopping block.
Wow, look at you.
Okay.
We're still going to decide a number one, however, so we
Alright.
do have one more question to go. Here are your options. A, Colorado Springs, Colorado to Salt Lake City, Utah. B, St. Louis to Tallahassee, Florida. Or C, Roanoke, Virginia to Montgomery, Alabama.
See, hey,
I saw Dom's A first. That was the correct answer.
see, I'm like, I'm so bad at this.
Colorado's right next there. The Utah's literally.
Comp beast on this.
I don't know how I feel about him altogether, but yeah, he's got two of her. So we'll see. Maybe I'll.
She's like, I don't know how I feel about him altogether, bro. She was
Sis-
so mad at you.
She was so mad. Like she held that shit the whole time. I'm like,
Whole
dang,
time.
Susan. She
The
just
whole
did. I'm like,
time.
Susan, like you've been played by Ashley. That's the only thing I've been trying to really get her to see. Like, you think I'm the one, but like, look what Ashley's really tying you to do.
Yep, she hated you. Well, she didn't hate you. She was like, I don't care for
She's
this
just
person.
she's just still the Jason, and I think the whole male thing. Like, I think they tried to use that. Like, oh, this is. Yeah,
Yeah.
like he would have voted for Dar because they're guys, and it's just like no, I didn't even. I pretty much said I voted for Dar.
And
You
then I
voted
was
for
just like, I was like the second one because like
Mhm.
loyalty towards
Yeah, the
you.
loyalty that you kept with me made that a target for you because they're like,
That
oh
shit
well.
was funny.
Mhm.
Oh man.
Too. No, I don't really care about that guy anymore. Like really.
Goddamn, I had to say that. Okay. Right. Came to be, Don Alexis to be the idol in this market now, that's what it is. Now, only idol for getting. He just wants to up to the front for he just only stuff with them. It will get something to use. They called me 3 times. I'm like, shit. So I mean, that's what I'm saying. For me to pull it out, I know they can like, damn it. I mean, winning is good, but you know, once you start winning, people start looking at you. Your idols become your rival. So, you know, that's why I was just like, shit. That's the Canada.
I didn't feel that way.
I was like, everything I see. Yeah.
No, they were definitely the whole time. I was just like, I gotta.
That boat, you know,
Unless we was gonna get our numbers up. That's what I was just like.
I'm just glad to kind of be out of that because now I can clearly go into the mission that I'm looking to do. The funny thing is, Susan never plays it, she plays it, it gets there. So I mean, it worked out. I think it's beneficial for Susan, and it's also beneficial kind of for the team game because if Susan kind of stays in, kind of finds her way in, then I could see that kind of working for us.
I fully on think that Nick should name the next title Dom and Susan. Y'all had this silent beef with each other.
What's all out with that beef? That's what I was just saying. Like she was, I inherited the beef from what Jason kind of had put through to where it was just like she was gonna vote for me every time. So it was just like I'll take it on. And it's the funny thing is like I really just went with Jason on that. If I think I'm gonna switch Jason, but I was just like Jason, if you feel like you've got one of them to vote against each other, I'll ride with it. And then it's just like that shit backfired so bad.
Nick, if you watch this next title, Dom and Susan.
That's hilarious.
For getting second place, you've received a secret switch vote one time. Up to the final four, you can secretly switch someone's vote.
So we can't talk about it, but exactly what I was thinking, what happened.
I didn't even see this when I was watching yesterday. I
Yes,
think I'm
so
gonna.
Susan had the secret switch vote, and that
Wow.
makes so much more sense now.
Mhm.
Now that I'm watching the shit. Oh my god.
Yeah. Dun, dun, dun. Stop it right there. But
That's cool.
Well, congratulations on your win.
Yeah, that was kind of a trip, yeah. Do you know who I voted for last night, or did you figure that out?
Well, I'm figuring Dar
No, I did what you said to do.
for Tabitha.
Yeah. So they probably don't know
kind
that.
of can't even make an alliance with Maxie almost.
I guess everybody's gonna vote.
But see, she said Tabitha, and then she said they probably don't know that, but whatever. But she specifically asked the question to everyone. And I think she was the only one that stayed silent, right? Or was it?
Yes. The whole time she was just kind of like, and I think at the time, I think the first time I'm like, come on, just say this shit. Cause I'm thinking like, I know I'm saying it. And I see her actually saying it. And it's just like, Mary's definitely kind of
I'm
that same.
so curious though why no one asked her directly, like, Susan, hey, who'd you vote for?
Yeah, Susan just kind of had a way of just being like, they didn't show the votes. They didn't show the votes. And at the time, I just started getting irritated with the whole
Oh, she
fucking
was
question.
like filling the conversation kind
Yeah,
of.
like she was kind of saying things
Okay.
that didn't have anything to do with it, and I just started getting irritated because I'm like, it's this fucking simple. Say it. Just say what you say what you voted. So I'm saying it. I'm saying it 3 fucking times. I'm like, then I'm starting getting hostile with Ashley because I'm like, Ashley, why do you keep asking me this? It's just like now y'all are trying to just say it. I'm like, I know I voted, and so, but it's just like, oh well, y'all gotta get Tabitha on your side, so you're gonna make it seem like, all right, I was at Tabitha, and I'm like, I don't even know Tabitha. It was like
That
very
shit was
much like.
fucking hilarious, bro. I'm not gonna lie, I was
That is,
dying.
like I said, the deceiving handbook was definitely there.
Might just vote for some random person knowing that they're not gonna go nowhere. If everybody's gonna vote her off, I mean, it doesn't matter who I vote or who I throw in there, you know what I mean? But I can't put Dom, which is a bummer, because I would put him, you know what I mean? But, I don't know, like, I could be doing the wrong thing when it comes to like just throwing someone's name out there. I mean, cause you said that you were basically, I listened to you, you know what I mean? Like when you said that. So I didn't know if you knew that.
There were some things riled up. There are still some things in my head how I do feel about her.
Girl, we all know you don't
I
like
don't
that, but that's
hate
fine.
her, but
Oh, I know, yeah, I understand that, I mean.
hate anybody. But that whole explosion of hate you was to make a scene.
Oh, okay, yeah, so are you guys tight at all or no? I
No.
mean, like, okay, yeah, see, I don't know her, so when you said yesterday, like, that you were, like, you know what I mean, like, I just want you to know I was with you, so I don't care what anybody else really says, but they don't know that, yeah,
I wanted her out.
yeah.
I wanted her out. So I don't hate her,
Right, I understand.
but I feel that, like I said, she's not honest. So I could see her doing what Dar did. So
Yeah.
everyone and saying a different thing to
But
everyone.
this time, I did say to them though, that I would vote for Dar, but after I talked to you, I didn't, so. And no one's asked me straight out who I did vote for, and if they do, I'm just gonna say I voted the way that I voted, like, you know what I mean? That's all I'm gonna say. I voted
It
the way I
was
voted.
implied.
She did kind of. We asked, and then she's like, "No, I voted for Dar." There is a part of where she definitely we just watched where she's like, "Yeah, no, I voted for Dar." She didn't. Nobody asked, but she said it.
Did she
So
say it?
yeah,
I
she
don't
was.
remember that.
I thought it was when we had the group when it was me, Riazo. She's like, we all voted for Dar. I'm almost positive that's what she
I
said.
don't remember now. I don't remember.
Yeah, I did. I'm pretty sure it's just like, no, Susan, you kind of made it kind of clear. And
But
even though Riazo thought it, he didn't say anything.
I know, but she said that no one asked her outright, and I don't
Yeah,
think
which
anyone
is,
asked her, "Hey, Susan, who'd you
but it
vote
was
for?"
just like, but it was the question, like
But it
everybody
was
say it.
implied,
It
bro.
was
It
definitely
wasn't.
implied, and she just kept filling it up with some other shit where it's just like, I ain't about to ask this shit again. It's just like I was like, I know, I was like, this is part of the game where it's starting to get a little bit like, okay, here's the strategy. Let's deceive and just make it a little more than it needs to be. So I'm like, all right, I'll let it breathe because I kind of feel it.
But now they're all tripping on who voted for Tabitha. You know what I mean? Besides you and Dar.
That's what everybody thinks, that they all think that so-and-so voted for Dar and so-and-so voted for Tabitha.
It was me on Exile. No, I'm just
Now,
kidding.
because of the drama, nobody really knows what happened. And that's
Right,
so
right.
hard.
Yeah, yeah. That's good though. Like I figured out, how can you sit there right now in this, like we're, you know, like against each other or whatever, right? How are you gonna sit there and like team up with people, like a whole group of people, when it's not, I mean, somebody's gonna have to do something to, you know what I mean? To either go another way or, I mean, you know what I mean? You can't just save everybody till the end. I mean, that's not the game.
You have to make a plan.
The majority, usually you want to be in the majority and you want to vote with the majority, and that's who usually would win in the end, somebody that played with the majority. But I mean, eventually the majority is not going to be the majority.
I got this thing called, I guess, like, I think it's called immunity thing. So like if somebody votes, like before the vote goes on.
See, and like again, she had a different game plan.
Huh?
We all had different game plans. So it's just like when people say, like, when they talk about like, hey, why did this person do this? Why did this person do this? That's because they had a different game plan. It wasn't like it wasn't like that person's bad, that person's bad. It was just like, hey, that's their game plan.
It was, I mean, my strategy is just like how, like you said, I'm thinking how to get to the farthest point based on the people I can at least understand. And
Right.
analytically
For
thinking like,
me-
who also can I beat? Because I'm just thinking like, all right, you're doing pretty good at these challenges and you have a way to kind of do this. How do I get you out? And that's exactly like when
for
it started to
me-
get clashed with Ashley, that's the whole thing. I'm like, she's got Susan so convinced that
Yeah.
even I can't even deal with this shit no more. So I'm just
Like for me, it was like if I would have gotten to like, you know, like super far and like none of you guys were there that I wanted to play with, like that would have been lame for me.
yeah,
So that's
right,
why
right. There was definitely an excitement of like, yo, let's ride to the fucking wheels fall off. It's
like
just like
they're right together.
there's just a natural like connection. There's like, let's just do this.
Yeah, yeah.
Side.
Everyone had different games.
Oh, so an idol. That's cool.
Yeah, the idol. Yeah, I guess Darstar had.
So you had an idol.
Dar had an idol?
He had an idol.
There was 3 fucking idols. No,
And those
yeah,
were that shit.
3 idols, right? Because you had one, Emily had one, Dar had one.
And Ashley had one, right? Doesn't she have one?
Oh,
She had a
had
switch.
to
She had the
switch
switch for it. Okay.
Remember? Because yeah.
And Emily did have an idol. What the fuck? Okay, yeah.
because-
Yeah. Oh, I thought she did. Did she just say it? Did she just say right now?
Yeah, no, she told Ashley though, like in a
Oh,
episode, because that's what, remember, because she wanted to get Ashley to like out her advantage. So
right.
yeah, everyone had a freaking idol though.
Yeah, you gotta pull them all at the same time. Just like it's like super Uno cards. Just like draw 4s that just keep coming. It's just like, dang, how do I get out of this?
Man, could you imagine? Oh my god.
Yeah, for real.
Like,
You didn't play it?
he didn't play. I think he thought that I was gonna
Dang.
go. And so I really think he was shocked. Because me and Rizzo was kind of playing him. Me and Emily had talked, and they were like, yeah, let's do that. I'm like, we both your ass out.
That was funny. He did not see it coming. I was like,
He was blind. I was like,
Oh no.
Yeah.
Why is it so tense in the chat right now? It's like
no one can talk at all whenever.
bro, who voted for Tabitha? Somebody lying. Who else voted for Tabitha?
Okay, somebody said it might have been you in the chat earlier, and I was like, I don't think so.
Told you they coming.
Emily, if you're watching this, why didn't you stick up for Dom in that big group chat?
Right. You kind of rode them. You rode with them.
Girl.
And you were the team. Kind of. And you was with the team.
So sad.
That's what I just told them.
Okay,
well,
so
if you're, do you know Ashley and Mary very well? Because like
Nah, well, because with the Jason thing happened, that's where I was just
Yeah.
like, no.
because
Ashley,
it could be one of them, to be
I think
honest.
so. That's why I
Yeah.
tried to put them against each other, because Ashley, sometimes like, she kind of be like, well, why'd you say that? Like, she be kind of coming,
Yeah.
she be kind of coming at me. So I'm like, why do I gotta go? You know?
So
I was
Susan,
I was very much on that. Ashley Mary, I'm like, break that shit up.
Well, I think in my head, I think it was either Mary or Susan in my mindset that would have voted Tabitha at that point. Because
Mhm.
Ashley was really close with
Yeah,
Tabitha.
Ashley was so close with Tabitha. You're right.
I didn't see that at all, but yeah.
Mary was just so
And Mary
watching
was
pain.
high as hell, so I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
Mary had
she
a couple times where I'm like, dang, Mary, that's you're kind of talking a lot more than I would see. And I think Mary's individual is a lot more than her like being like one on one with her. Like, it's just like you said, she just gets into like that quiet fetal world. It's like, okay, so let's just talk about I don't know, snakes and shit. Like just the most randomest shit. Let's fill this time, man.
favorite team.
Yeah.
But we can vote
I see that.
Muggsy out. So Muggsy, like, she's gotta go.
Yeah.
Damn,
Get the
we should
number
have targeted
that way,
Mary.
Then we just.
So I have, let's see, since you exiled me, Dom, no, I'm just kidding.
I thought it would work. I wanted to do that, like, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to say.
No, it's fine. Yeah, I mean, that was part of the original alliance anyways. Jason was supposed to be there, but I mean, circumstances happen, so, and I do trust them and I mean, I'm loyal to a fault. So, but anyways, I have one
Oh, it's a
thing,
fault.
or I guess where I can change someone's vote.
So I thought that was so important after that because I'm like, yeah, they can just flip this on us.
If I play this damn game next time, like, I'm not even gonna say what my game plan is on the screen because no one's gonna see that shit coming.
Real. I learned so much just from rewatching it and thinking
Yeah.
that I'm just like, I couldn't even imagine doing it again because I'd be so much more like just into like, all right, this is
Well,
exactly what I'm about to
and
do.
see, the thing is like if I would have played any differently, people would have been able to like tell just because like I am a truthful person to a fault, and it's
Mm-hmm.
hard for me to like fabricate shit or
Yeah,
lie.
when you already on that energy, you can't like your body will just be like, nope,
Yeah,
your
like your
bullshit.
body's just like, no, you
Yeah,
can't.
get that shit out. You can't even say it without like telling you like, nah, that
I
is
know.
a lie.
So it's like it's hard. Like if I would have played like a Riazo part, like I would have been like, oh my god, I'm gonna I can't do this.
Mhm.
So, I mean, yeah, I feel like I want to do that like on the round of like Susan or Ashley when we like, oh.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
there are some like questionable votes. Like I really don't know. When it comes to Susan, Mary, and Ashley, I don't know where their votes lie.
Well, we have to be careful with Tabitha too, because Tabitha is close with Ashley.
Oh,
so
shit. I was
wanna
on
make sure that
Tabitha.
They don't have the numbers.
Mhm.
So,
That-
so I think, so is Muggsy next, and then are we gonna go for Susan or Ashley after?
I think you take Ashley out because Susan, I feel like we can still kind of.
See, Dom, you were even still like I was like, who are we taking out, Susan or Ashley? And you were still like, let's take Ashley out. We'll worry about Susan later. Like you were
Yeah.
still.
I just felt like Ashley had a lot of pull, and I
She
just
had
was
a lot of
definitely
pull.
just like I gotta take. I
I
was
mean,
like
you were
Susan is
still,
just.
like, but you were still like on Susan's side, even though she wasn't like on yours. Like,
I know,
essentially.
because I just figured Susan just like there's indoor Susan, there's outdoor Susan. I'm just like Susan's gonna just find her way, and then if you cut what's kind of holding Susan, because I thought Ashley was kind of the battery in her back, you take that shit out, Susan will return right back to how she was. That was my whole thinking.
And see, I think at this point, if like even if Susan would have been like, hey, like I think we talked about it like a couple episodes ago, where it's just like if Susan would have like came to, I know she would have came to me and she'd be like, you know what, like I fucked up. I accidentally voted Jason. Like, hey, like my bad. I want to just see if I'm still good with the team. Like, I would have been like, yeah, no, it's fine. Like, hey, let's just like merge her into here and like, hey, we
Right.
have a solid team now. Like, like everything. But
But actually with Mary, you know what I'm saying? Then that,
Yeah.
exactly. The makes
Okay.
it kind of, so I figured that'd be the best way for us strategy wise to kind of maintain.
Okay, so Muggsy, Ashley, and then Susan. Muggsy is the easier target. She's
Because
the one
everyone's
that
gunning for
everyone's
her.
gonna be gunning for, and
gonna help us with numbers and them
Can we
not
have
have.
flip? Can we have flipped the vote? I think that would have been the question I would have asked.
Wait, what? Say that again?
I was thinking, like you said, if Muggsy wasn't talking, could there have been enough votes to keep Muggsy? Because Riazza was so. I think
Oh, up
I
in the air. But you see,
yeah.
at that point, if I would have known Riazza was so flip-floppy the way that he was, and if I would have known that, because I didn't know at that point, I would have fabricated something to him on the lines of like, hey, we're voting for this person. And then like that way he's like, hey, I'm still like in this, like, I'm still in the group because they're telling me all this info. And like, and then yeah, we could have voted someone else out, like, because I think it was, well, who was it? Tabitha, Mary, Susan, Ashley, Riazza was the wild card. I don't know. That would have been tough, dude. We would have probably had to use a switch a vote, which I could have
Had
used.
to, yeah. I'm just
Yeah.
sitting here thinking, like, could have had with the numbers and that and this
I
part
forgot
could have
because
had.
I did have that switch a vote, which I could have like switched like Ashley's vote or some shit like that. Because
Mhm.
like, or whoever's and just like geared it towards Tabitha.
Switch
Damn,
plus immunity. What that's a shit.
could have done that. Actually, I've been very wishy-washy, I feel like, but I keep hearing from other people, and I'm not really a fan of that. So I think it would be safer to get her out. And then at that point, it doesn't really matter. Tabitha, Susan, and Mary, it doesn't really matter in that order. Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to be up to like more, like get them Riazza, because I'm like, I'm done with this whole team.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We changed this original, obviously Susan flipped on Jason. And yeah, I think we got Riazzo, like I said, he's kind of like, he's like the golden child, you know what I'm saying? He's like that, little boy in the movie type thing. So, want to kind of like he's stealing my own
I've
child.
got a golden ticket. No, just kidding.
I mean, if we can figure out like that third vote, I mean, that would honestly.
But we just gotta make sure they don't, I mean, shit, they can fuck around and win, like,
Oh, that's right, right. So Susan, we can take out at any time. So maybe Mary or Tabitha for third.
yeah.
I feel like I'm okay with everybody, but I don't really have like a solidified, let's go all the way together. I feel like
Emily.
even at one point considered talking to Muggsy and being like, nobody would expect this, but she's too much of she's a rocket, like I don't know where she's gonna go and when she's gonna go off.
Now we keep these numbers going.
Emily, yeah. Because then it's like, I don't really care who wins at that point. Like,
Yeah, exactly. It'd be just fun.
Like-
Okay, I feel really confident with the three of me, Dom, and Rita, and I'm hoping that they feel the same. Like we're from the We Are Legends, other than Susan and Riazzo, who are kind of floating around a little bit, but I feel really good about it. I would love to see that final three because if either one of them won, I'd be really happy about that. That's what I'm thinking. If this is the three, like if you two are the final two, like I'd be so happy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm just keeping it because I feel like that's what we kind of started with. So we just don't see what of us pull it out. So.
Yeah.
Especially on this shit, the Jason Law, the Rizzo, and everything. We the first two people we have ain't even on our team. They don't show up. We're like, God damn, like, we've been through shit. We lost.
It's been a lot.
It's a lot. It's a
It's an
lot.
emotional roller coaster.
Showcase each other. And so
You know what? No, I retract her statement there. Like, if it would have been you or Emily, you know what I would have done? I would have done a coin toss. Heads and tails.
Wow.
Because I didn't know at the time, like, she was, like, kind of, like, second guessing, and I thought, like, I was close to,
yeah.
like, guys, so, like, I wouldn't have fucking known, like, and I just would have done some coin toss up. Wait,
Basic.
what would you have done, though?
I don't think I would have contest. I think I always I felt like I just always felt the trust with you. So I just would have
Yeah.
definitely just leaned that way. I'm just like, I just feel like everything we had went through.
Did I come to you with an alliance, right?
Yeah, I think we had just kind of started, and I think you and Jason and then it just kind of was just like, I just kind of was just like, oh, let me just see how everything was. And I think you
Yeah.
presented it to me, and then I was like, okay. Let's
Okay.
do it. It feels like, all right, this is right. Because you were asking the questions about like emotion and psychology. I'm like, all right, Rita's really strong at this part of it. I'm like, that will be I'm thinking from a game standpoint, I'm like, if once we get into that, I'll need that. I'll need you to be able to like decipher stuff that I can't see. Because I'll be looking at it from a numbers standpoint. I'm just like, well, the numbers make sense to me this way. So I'll just look at the analyze.
They were gunning at me hard though with those questions on the podcast because they were like, that's too much and blah blah blah. And I was like, and you know what? I wasn't really thinking of it as like a strategic thing, like, hey, I'm gonna get these people out based on these answers. I wanted to see like where everyone was at intellectually. And I was like,
Yeah,
because it's,
yeah.
like you could use that to your advantage. And that's the thing though, too, is like the way that people were answering the questions, it wasn't so much of the answers, but it was the way that they were answering it is more of
Yes.
what I was focused on.
Right.
And so, and like, so for me, it wasn't like, hey, I'm gonna get you out because you think, because what was it? One of the questions, are you more, oh no, I think it was like one was just like, are you more considerate or are you more, what was the what? God, I can't remember the opposite, but like
Yeah,
I
I was
didn't.
just yeah, that was like the logic and the emotion. Like what do you I know that was probably like what do you lead with? Is it your
Yeah,
mind or your heart? Or like, yeah, kind of like
but
what's your first thought?
I wanted to see everyone's like, I guess like, yeah, in a way, like I was just like trying to see where everyone's at like nerve system wise, because like
Mhm.
that would have determined to me like, hey, this is how this person answers if he or she is kind of like in a like, corner, and like so she looks like a little bit nervous and I could have used that like later on. That's what I was thinking of. But they were gunning for me in that podcast. They're like,
It
you should.
was. Yeah.
Hold on.
That
I can feel
yeah.
we are closer, and so that is something I might have to be like, let's take each
Feel
other
good.
get till final five.
I guess what do you feel on Tabitha? So I mean, do you like her? You don't?
So how do you feel about Tabitha?
Dang, she.
Well, now we know that we're on the same spiritual vibe. Can you read people?
Yeah, well, some people I can't read Ashley. I can read
Bro, Mugs. I love the whole reading people. Everyone thinks that they can read people. That's like the funny part about it all. That's a good question. Who do you think read people the best in this whole season?
That is a good question.
I think it
Because
was
I felt like there was a lot of people off. I would say you were reading people well. Like everything that you kind of were saying, I give it to Rivaza was doing too well too, just to catch Susan on that. But I think you were like, yo, that is exactly kind of what they're doing. And it's just like, well, that definitely happened that way. So I'm just
You
like,
know what? I didn't even think about that, but I thought Riazzo did a really good job
he
reading.
did for his age and what he was doing. I think he just got himself in too many webs to really be able to
Yeah.
capitalize on it at the
He
same
needed to
time.
at this point, he should have just picked a side because like if he would have picked a side, because like at that point it was like you knew he wasn't picking a side. You were like the way that he was articulating things and the way that he was going by things, that's why he was like always in the back of my head, like, I don't trust this person because he's not giving me that indefinite like answers
Oh,
of trust. And so it was just like always up in the air. And he at this point he probably should have just picked someone to like work with. But
yeah.
usually I'm pretty good at reading things.
You can't read her?
Actually, yeah, actually, that's what I'm saying. She can't take over for Jason and it's her box.
No, you can't read Tabitha?
I can read Tabitha. Tabitha definitely is someone who's kind of, I can read Tabitha. Tabitha is, you know,
Too big.
she kind of be like me and her and so.
But what do you, we have like 2 minutes left. What are you guys choosing for the exile thing?
Oh, no, it's an exile. Yeah, it was an exile.
So what happens?
Oh, I get it. It's called that. It's like, it's totally, I feel like I really voted out. I can say so.
Oh, really?
She's like, can you use that on me?
Yeah. Guys.
Dude, you should. I feel like she was like wondering. She was like, maybe he can use that on me.
Oh, yeah. Maxie was definitely getting into her like there'd be certain times where she definitely was getting into her vibe stage. It'd be like, yeah, let's do some 5D thing real quick. Let's just astral plane. And yeah, she was definitely like
That's funny.
she was
Oh,
with it.
still on top of this out.
So we really consider himself if we feel like read the sign that we might have to go. Because you going out anyway. It's not even shit.
That's funny. I mean, I said it like that. Max, that's damn. That was cold blooded.
I
Oh shit.
what did you say?
Dang. Dang.
Wait. What did you say?
I said she's going out anyway, so I don't give a shit. That's what I said.
It was like the laugh afterwards. So I don't remember that. Okay. Oh
I don't even
man.
remember saying that. That's yeah.
Oh, that makes it possible now.
It was funny.
It feels like he's aligned with voting for months. That first vote for Tabitha was curious. I'm just like,
Yes. Still, who also voted for Tabitha. He said she didn't do it. Ashley said she didn't do it. Somebody not. Are you good?
You probably can't see me. I'm in an Uber right now. I'm like in between, just trying to get somewhere. So.
Do your thing. Yes, good to talk to you. I think we got a chance to actually speak. So, you didn't know.
I mean,
Dang, you can't even see her face.
Yeah, she was like, I don't know what time it was, but yeah, I think it was like midnight where she was going because I think she was going to some casino or something.
No,
So
look
just,
at your eyes, bro.
yeah, I was. Whew, it must have been. I just must have hit it at that point because I.
that Dar had got voted out. I kind of chatting with like everybody else. I kind of figured that was coming. But yeah, moving forward, I think it's getting harder just because of like how the teams are starting to, be a little bit more tighter and stuff. Because I heard a couple people saying that like originally you were working with like Dar and Rizzo, but when we had chatted with the rest of the team, yeah, Susan was like the only person that I hadn't really talked to.
Wait, who said? Who said?
I was like, I know for
I think that was her, Emily, or her, Ashley, and Mary were saying that me, Dar, and Riazzo had a
Oh,
thing.
what?
Yeah,
Where did that come
yeah.
from?
Exactly. That was their like, oh, I think it started being guys, girls type of thing. That's what it felt for a little bit.
Yeah, that's weird. Okay.
Yeah, because I'm like, that, how did that happen? I just joined the team.
But you were like one of the other people that I hadn't talked to yet either. So it's like I wanted to kind of see like where your head's at in the game.
Yeah, but me and him really had talking about what Dar's thing was. So like, yo, we're going to talk to him and they can see what we're doing with him. So it's just like, we definitely get that out. So that was the whole thing. We kind of made it like, yeah, cool. Because he was like, yo, our team is going out. We're going to vote Tabitha. Our whole thing is like, been trying to before that. We have to make it seem like we can go in there. Definitely go. Tabitha is kind of still more of the question. Like, I trust Mary more than be Tabitha. That's all the time. Mary. Tabitha kind of, I'm like, she didn't even blatantly say like, yeah, I just would have voted for her. But I'm like, shit, she called your ass out. You still seem like you kind of think so. I don't know what her deal is.
How are you? Truly blessed. Thanks for asking. I see you are.
Hello,
asleep, so I'm
casino.
gonna make this quick. Right now, we have 9 people. We hold majority. Me, you, Mary, Susan, and Riazzo. We hold majority. If we hold tight together, Dom, Emily, and Rita, that's 3. If me, and Tabitha and Riazzo want to make it to final 3, well, that means we're up against the final three already.
See where that's crazy is like her, Tabitha, Riazzo were the final three in her mind. So Susan and Mary weren't even a thought.
That's exactly what I was thinking the whole because I'm like Susan was just the battery that Ashley had put in, but she was never, and I think even Susan didn't even realize that she was never loyal to Susan. She was loyal to herself. And Susan
Right.
was the pawn that was not
And
as
that's what we're saying is like we were getting like the backlash of that for like
yeah, but she did but it was some ill psychology on that shit.
they like Ashley had her in that same place as well. But I think what the difference was is because we all kept saying that we are part of a team. But what I was telling Ashley in the chat today was like, yes, we were all part of a team. But as far as like the alliances go, you and
Yeah.
Emily and I and Jason were the only people that initiated the alliance. And
Mhm.
so like, and yeah, I was still watching out for the team, but I was watching out obviously more for the alliance, not the team.
Mhm.
So, and I had no
Mhm.
loyalty to anyone else of that other team. But yeah, she had the same position as like what she was with Ashley. So I thought that was really interesting.
So, you know, while we have Mary and Susan on our side, we need to start doing some stuff.
I'm surprised Mary wasn't higher up though with that.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, no, that's you know, he does this when he's lying. He does that and then he's lying. He's like, oh,
Dumb,
I'm trying to think what I
dumb.
was lying about. Because I was just like, I think I was telling them everything I felt. I don't, maybe, yeah. I'm like, what was I lying
Dumb.
about?
Okay, okay, fair question though. Do you do that when you lie?
Oh, no. That's not, I have to think about that. I have to one of my ladies then. I have to ask them because they'll be like, are you lying to me right now? And I'll be like, shit, she might have caught me. But I don't know what I'm doing at the time. Like, I might be how I say it or think it, but I'll be like, I think you're lying. I'll be like, damn, I am. I'm like, no, I'm not lying about that shit. I ain't lying about that shit. I'm like, yeah, that's not how it happened. It's like, I
So
gotta,
it's a little
yeah. The, yeah.
bro, you gotta stop that shit.
Right, exactly. If that's the tale, I gotta know it. I gotta know it just because keep my poker face on.
and I'm like, come on, Dom, what you got? What you got? What you got? Yeah, give us what you got.
I feel really good. I feel like Ashley did
Oh,
really
shit.
from the beginning, and we kind of always been on. I definitely do think there's like a lot of things to take into factor with that, just because of like how much he's dominant and just knowing that like Dr. Reed and Emily were kind of like their OGs, and then there was like our OGs. So I feel good about her plan forward, and I feel like I'm in a good position, kind of playing on both sides.
The next time I get an opportunity to choose anyone, I'm gonna choose Riazzo, so I can just touch base with him. Or do you still feel like he's trustworthy for the three of us making it to like final three? For me to let him know, like, we have to stick five strong and we cannot, like, that plan, do you feel like?
Like, so you, me, Rizzo, is that?
That's the three. And
Yeah.
and then me and you know Mary will vote with us, and I can tell you Susan feels indebted to Mary. So as long as me and Mary and Susan
Right.
well, I was telling you that, those
I'm so surprised though that Mary wasn't further up there because Mary had been with Ashley at this point the entire time, right?
I think she just kind of saw Mary as like easily
That's
to be there, but I don't think they saw the strength with Mary because I think Mary could have been on her own wild card at the same time because
well, you know what though? Because also Mary actually said yes to the original alliance of Tabitha and Hyphen.
oh, okay.
So that is also really interesting too, because yeah, and I'm surprised that like Riazzo made it up there before Mary. So that's yeah, I don't know, that's interesting.
Because Rousey
said
gave
they
them so much knowledge about us that they just trusted.
the fold, but he's part of the fold, and I like it because we're like mixed up. We got Susan Riazzo from the, like that five says nothing about that five says merge to me. That five doesn't say like one team or the other from the beginning.
How's it going?
Kind of a crazy, I don't know, last 2 nights.
I know, I can feel the tenseness and the whole
Like
and everything.
it's kind of like personal now a little bit. I'm like, shit.
I've had one with Dom and Emily, and we're pretty much all in the alliance like together as far as like getting the rest of them out. So Muggsy is going to be next.
I agree with that.
Ashley, because Ashley keeps being very wish-washy with like what she's saying. And we think she was like the main contender on why Jason got out. Cause she's scared Susan and I don't know what happened there.
And see, at that point, I was actually filling out how Riazzo was reacting to that.
See if he was part of
And-
us or not.
Right, because like we can't talk about it yet, but there's like certain things where like it led up to it where I'm like, yeah, but
Right.
yeah. But it was like for me at that point, I was mentioning these things to him because I was trying to see, hey, is he still with our team? Or is he deciding to go the other way? And like his reaction was like solidifying it for me.
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
It wasn't giving that clarity for me at that point.
For sure. He's still
scared.
young, so he can't unhide his easiness.
And said that
What'd you say?
I say he was at that age though. He's what is he, 19 or something? So he can't really hide his like his boyish looks that just got to show everything.
Yeah, I mean, he had a really good poker face, so I'm
He
not gonna
did,
lie.
he did. But he
did.
started talking, and that's when he get himself in circles to be like, "All right, Riazzo, you definitely are."
Right. And he was talking to someone that like what Muggsy said, like, can you read people? I'm like, I don't know if I can read people really well, but I know bullshitters when I see them. So I'm like, it's just like for me at this point, he was talking to someone that is like really good at spotting people like that. I felt kind of bad for him, but I was still hoping he was still part of our team because I wanted him like there. So
was like gonna vote Susan out or something, and then I guess he said it in a very subtle way, and then Ashley said, "Why didn't you like tell her?"
Yeah, I'm just like every time like she hits me with a hit list, it's just more information to process, you know. The more information I get, the more clearly I can plan what I want to do out, and it's just better for me all around. So you're very like strong on the idea of working with Emily and Susan.
Yeah, well, not Susan. I definitely, she's like kind of just a wild card at this point for me. Just because like none of us were expecting her to be here. So, and I think she's does not trust, I know she doesn't trust me.
I don't think I can see that. Obviously, you know.
I don't know about the other two, but she doesn't trust me, which she wants to ask me straight up. Like, I'll tell her why she shouldn't trust me.
I don't know why she trusts Dom so much. Like,
see, he was like, I don't know why he doesn't trust Dom or why she doesn't trust Dom so much.
They all had like a little secret, like I can feel it. I feel like they are gonna get me.
Right. Well, and that's and that the thing is like the tension that I felt with Susan too. It was just like I wasn't 100% certain if she was mad at me or not, but I could tell she was mad. But I'm like, why did like I don't think her or Ashley ever asked me at that point. Like, hey.
Right. Ashley was asking me more than anything, and I knew Susan was still mad about the Jason thing, but I'm just like, if you're gonna hold that shit forever, you're gonna have to win then, you know.
Right. Right. And I think that's why the chat got heated at the end because it was like, oh, okay, now we get to answer all these
I wouldn't
questions.
say I have a number one yet. I would just say that everyone's pretty middle ground for me. Like, I'm not, you know, I'm not closed off to voting someone out. Like I'll vote anyone at this point.
So how do you feel about that?
Yeah, of course I'm down.
Okay, because I'm like, I honestly like.
I'd
I
be
don't-
into the conviction even right there. I'd have been like, Riaz, are you down? Are you down? I'd ask him again because he's like, sure, yeah, okay, and it's just like,
Bro, I already knew there was something up with him. Like,
It's like, did
So-
you do your chores? Yeah, I did them. Did you do your chores? No, I didn't do them. That's exactly how I looked at it. Like, you ain't do that shit. You ain't about to do that shit. Don't even.
That's the thing though, is you can't always tell these people, hey, I know you're fucking lying, bro.
Right. You know you're lying, right? Roll the tape. That's what I wish I could have been able to do that. You know you're lying, right? Pull the tape of Nick, show the tape that we just saw in the check chat. I'd have been pulling that shit out for real. Mhm.
Pretty fine, but this other team is just like. I think it makes sense.
Oh, you don't like them?
Huh?
You don't like the other two?
I think it's just a lot of drama.
There's-
And see, it was just the way that he was like questioning everything. Like he knew in the
Yes. He
background,
said it
like
in a way like he was definitely going to report back to them.
yeah, and it was just like
And that's probably why he said it all.
and it was just like because he knew like everything that was going down, but it was just still like questioning like that answer, like, hey, like, oh, you don't like them?
Yes.
So
Yeah, I
it's gonna come
know.
to a point where we have to, backstab and betray our allies. Like, I'm already on. I'm not head of attack. I'm ready to do whatever is best for my game. So maybe this week I'm working with Dom or Emily. And next week I'm working with the other. Just keep going round by round, day by day.
But
Yeah,
see,
but-
that's the problem. That's the problem, though. If you become
We're
a
voting
player
for,
that is
Muggsy.
too sneaky,
Right, okay.
then
Sure, 'cause I haven't talked.
if you vote, like if you're a player that is too sneaky and you're not good with what you do, eventually you're gonna get caught.
Oh yeah, exactly. It's gonna be catch me if you can, and you're gonna be looking right at the sign because you're going in a circle that is just like,
Right.
now you forgot how to get out to the exit,
Yep.
and we got you.
And now you're by yourself. You're not with anyone else at that
Mhm.
point. So.
Mhm.
Anybody?
What happened with the vote?
I was gonna tell you, yeah, okay, so.
Because I was
then-
hearing from everyone else, but I did not
Yeah.
hear it from you.
Okay,
So-
what happened was, Marion and Ashley joined our team, right? So then there was gonna be a challenge, and I'd already done the first one, right? And then Jason started like trying to be like the call shotter of the whole team, you know what I mean? So I didn't go into the second challenge. The third challenge, they joined the team. And so I said, well, we had already talked about how they were pretty smart anyway, because from the challenges we saw them do on the other team, when they were on the other team. So I said, it was 4 people they had to choose. There was only 5 of us. So I said, like, go ahead and let them go, right? So then they did. So Jason started saying that I wasn't participating, and you know what I mean? And then the next night I figured, okay, they're gonna all vote me out. I already felt it from Jason, right? So I said, why don't you guys all vote me out and go on with the show or the game? And I won't, you know what I mean? Like, I was willing to just say, go ahead, you guys.
Sure,
And then
yeah.
I had a one-on-one with Ashley, and she said, don't do that. Like, do you really want to play the game? And I was like, yeah. So Jason's had it out for you from the minute we got on the team. And I was just
Okay.
like, that's really weird. Like, because I thought we all were going to stick together, but I kind of felt it. But she just
Okay.
confirmed it, you know what I mean? And then Dawn went
Okay.
along with him and voted me out too, you know what I mean? So I was
Okay.
just like, I'm not going to worry about really what they feel, because, it's like, if they don't like it, oh well,
I mean, our plan is once we get out, Muggsy is just,
And see, at that point, I don't know if I should have been like, hey, Susan, it's okay, like kind of thing. Because if I would have like, in my brain and how I work is like, if I would have said that to her, it would have been like, okay, now we're like all of a sudden working together. And like,
Right.
I wanted to work with her or not just because of like what happened. So it was just like, I was telling her what the plan was anyways, just to see how she would react to that.
Just to see if yeah.
Right. It was like kind of like the same thing like with Riazzo as well. Cause like at this point in time, Riazzo and Susan were the wild cards for me.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah,
I
and
knew-
like you knew where the other 3 stood, and we knew where
Yeah.
it's just like,
Yeah.
well, we got 2, and that's why I was just like, maybe keeping Muggsy could have worked, but it's just like we didn't have. I don't know, if, like you said, even in hindsight, would have been enough to be like, all right, Muggsy, even if you're with us, can we get another one to be like, all right, vote?
Listen, but I
against-
could have used that switch a vote too, which
Hell
is
yeah. That-
that's like, and honestly, that's something like now if I ever play this game again, like I will not like overthink my advantages.
Use them. Use
I
what you
think I
got.
did. I think I did.
Huh?
we're gonna start getting hard towards the other team, and I don't know how you feel about that, because I know you probably have like a little
Well,
bit.
there's only, oh, you
of
mean
rules.
Ashley? Yeah, but see, I think Dawn will turn against me anyway. You know what I mean? Like, I'll
No,
go for
no, I think it's, we are more wanting to get the other team out first, because
Okay.
we've just seen so much drama.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
With
okay.
Riazzo,
See, and she was like, Dom's gonna turn on me, and I had to like literally tell her like,
It's
no,
like Rupert in. Yeah.
like, cause
I'm
like
like,
you were like, no, hey, let's get Ashley out first.
right. Like I said it. You even gave me the option. I could have said, no, take Susan. And I was like, no, get this out because Susan is only being controlled and Ashley's only using Susan to benefit Ashley, not to all the way to Susan. Like even when she said like she kind of was used it as a sympathy thing more than like, hey, stay in the game. She's like, well, what are they gonna do? If you leave, they're gonna take us out. And she was like, oh damn, I feel bad now. And it's just like, no, Susan, you're being used. Because if you would have never said that, they would have definitely been out. One of them would have been out. And
I
I was
wouldn't
like,
say she was being used. I would just say she was being like very strategically positioned in a nice way.
okay, that sounds like that's a sophisticated saying of not being fully used, but I get what you're
Well,
trying to say.
listen, I think Ashley called out someone in the chat, like from the podcast, for saying like she manipulated the votes, and she got really mad and said I didn't manipulate those votes, and it was just like but it wasn't like a bad manipulation, but it was just like a you strategically placed this
No,
person.
definitely. It just at least stand for what you stand on what you did though. That's all I was
Yeah.
just doing. Ashley, don't act like you. I was like the psychology of you being a teacher and just kind of knowing that you definitely used part of that to
Well,
get it.
and then again, it's not to say just because you are manipulating a vote is saying that you are a bad person by any
That's not saying
means.
you're a bad person. You're
No
very
one is
just a
saying
person who's
that. But no one is saying that. But there's times when like when you give constructive criticism to people, like sometimes because how their brain is wired, they kind of like resort to like that negative part of it. And they
yeah. They don't
only
take it as
like
a
yeah, and they
learning.
only like that negative part of it. They're not hearing it as like, hey, as a compliment or as like something that is like
Yeah, the
useful.
defense mechanism comes up instead of just like, let me
Yeah,
just take this in and see how I can, like you said, construct it and use it in a better way. I mean, yeah, that's what I was
right,
saying. You got to learn from everything, and
right.
everything is not always going to be high. You got to see like, all right, well, I could have did something different, or I can take that and use that in a different way. That's why I was, even watching this. That's all I think. I'm like, I could have did something so different based off of just how I'm seeing it. I just criticized,
Well,
like
we
I
could have
criticized even the conversation.
totally gotten Tabitha out like
Yes,
this
with Dar.
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And just
Damn.
just chopped it, just kept chopping legs.
I know. It's okay.
I'm finding that like you're going on the other side, and like the only reason why I feel like Rialso isn't out was because the other team had more drama than him coming in, so he wasn't
Okay.
really like a target. So
Right, right.
yeah,
Okay, well,
so-
will you let me know, like, if you hear, like, like, our team will, like, turn on me or something, like, I'm just
Yeah,
saying if that's.
no, I will hear, like, I will let you know. And I
Okay.
think once we get towards the end, like, it's just gonna be every net for itself, cause.
Yeah, right, right.
Cause we're,
I wasn't gonna let her know. I'm not gonna lie. Sorry, Susan.
Yeah, like that's what I was thinking. I was just like, would you have been like, hey, we're taking you out, Susan, Dublin was take you out. Or what? Like if we would have been that way.
It wasn't personal, Susan. It wasn't personal.
I think you had Susan swayed, but then she still was.
You said what?
I said I think you were trying to get Susan swayed, but I feel like she still felt like she said indebted to Ashley. Even Ashley said those words.
She did,
Susan's
yeah.
indebted to me, and I'm like, Susan damn near was like, yes, I'm kind of indebted to you.
Crazy too, bro. That's so interesting. Yeah, that was done.
oh, it like go to the
Oh, that would
finals,
be
and
cool.
so,
Right,
yeah,
right, that
so
would,
that's kind
yeah,
of,
that'd be cool.
that's-
How I would be like, with the original team. And see, I just talked to Rita, right, just, she had a chat with me right before. And she's trying to see, she's saying that she wants to keep the team that I was on before, and I'm telling you the truth, you know what I mean? And they'll turn against me because Dom, you know what I mean? Yeah, Dom's not gonna, you know, he's already probably convinced her, you know what I mean? I just already know it.
Bro, at this point, Susan was Muggsy. And
Yes.
you were Tabitha.
For real, for real. I'm like, yo, this is a one-sided beef. Like, you are
Bro.
really like,
Cause like anytime any like conversation came up, it was like if it was Muggsy, it was Tabitha. If it was Susan, she was talking about you.
Yeah, she did. She talked to me the whole time, and that was the illest part. That's kind of when I was just like, dang, Susan
But
gonna be gunning the whole time now.
there was no
Because
convincing. I
because
even tried.
she's kind of the in between me and Ashley. I'm like, me and Ashley have our own thing where I'm just like, Ashley's getting on my fucking nerves, and so I'm gonna just go, like Ashley's just asking me questions and things. I'm like, she's just hostile, and then
Yeah.
Susan just kind of saying what she's saying, and I'm just like, okay, but I'm just like, this is getting to be a mess.
I know. I even tried to convince her, but it didn't
Uh-huh.
work.
Then Dawn and
Emily told
Yeah.
me that her, Rita, Dom, and Jason were working together. So I'm just like, well, that explains why.
it probably will, because she was saying right now, she goes, well, are you in it like with the old team? Like, you know what I mean? Like saying basically like get you guys out, right? But she doesn't know that I've been talking to you guys. You know what I mean? Like it would
Yeah,
be
I
team
know.
against team.
How would Rita not know that you've been talking to them? Like, you're pretty obvious that you've been talking to them like that.
Of course I know, bro.
Of course. That's where Susan probably just didn't even recognize some of that part of it. Like, how would we not know you're working with him when clearly you voted with him? It's like
Alright.
that's where your alliance lies.
Oh man.
I'm saying we're still a team, right? I don't really care what order anybody goes in, whichever one of you, the other.
Yeah, I understand.
You know what I'm saying? I'm okay with it. I just feel like my only thing.
See, again, that was like her trying to switch Susan again. And at that point,
Right there, like you said, she kind of didn't even kind of include Susan in what she wanted to do anyway. And I don't think
right.
Susan even heard that.
Part of that final three, you heard it was Riazzo, Ashley, and Tabitha. Mary
Mm.
and weren't even a thought with that
Yeah.
final.
And I kind of said that to Susan right there, like, "Hey, Susan,
Yeah.
I kind of want you around for this, but not
But
that."
that's kind of like reverse psychology.
For sure.
I
Yeah.
don't know if it was like intentionally used on Ashley's part, and maybe it wasn't. But like, there's times where people do use that, where it's like, hey, if I just kind of let go of the reins to see where this person is going to like go, then maybe like they'll come back to me. And like that's like a thing that people like to use a lot. And that's kind of like what happened there, where it was just like doesn't matter where you go, but like, I just want you to know. And it was like it sounded very like heartfelt in that situation.
Mhm.
But
I get you.
Riazzo, you, me, Riazzo, Tabitha, and Mary have to just vote the same way.
I respect her more than anybody.
I just finished talking with, Susan, and I talked with Tabitha yesterday.
it was funny though. It's interesting how paranoid people were.
Final thought.
Like,
What I'm thinking. So how are you feeling about, all of us voting together after this vote? At least till the final five, and then we all just whatever.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, then I will let Riazzo know, and then when I circle back, when everybody circles around our shack chat or whatever, then you guys should be comfortable enough to talk to each other, because at some point we're gonna have to pass messages through each other.
Excited to talk to Riazzo because I did want to build a stronger bond with him to possibly work closer together in this game. You're one of the people from Real Legends that I still trust, and I feel like you're just a genuine player. And so, like, I obviously want to go far in this game with, like, the original Real Legends people. So, I just wanted to, like, reiterate my loyalty. Like, I'll keep you safe until the end type thing. Like,
Yeah, likewise.
and so, because I think this could be, like, a powerful duo.
It's perfect, man. She's a cool girl, cool person. I think it was Susan that did it.
No, you know what? I can really see Susan voting Tabitha, pinning it on Dom, because she already has like a beef with him
Yep.
because he voted her out.
Here's the thing, is like, so the titles being like very good with each other, Are Rita and Dom, is that our main alliance? Like, it's like, that's what Rita was telling me last night, trying to like figure out what's happening, because I know everyone more than.
Yeah, I feel like you are like you're in a very powerful position because you know everybody and everybody likes you. Like, you're good with everybody and you know everybody knows.
I wanna say I'm good with everybody.
Well,
Yeah.
everybody thinks they're good with you, like, they don't know that, like, they're good. But, yeah, yesterday I had a chat with Rita and they were like, you know, I feel good with this, us and Riazo, like, us four, like, sticking together.
I'm just like looking at that and I like try to make, I'm not like the fourth, that fourth. You know what I
That's
mean?
why I wanted to like talk to you first, cause I was like, I know they're really tight and that's how I feel. I feel like the third and I don't want you to feel like the fourth. So like, it can be like us four, like chill with each other, but then like I got
Alright,
you
no,
and then they got, yeah. And then whatever happens, happens.
Cause
You
I
know?
just don't wanna like, this happen, but like, okay, like since Ashley, like, I don't wanna play like, I don't know. I
Yeah,
want to see who's, ultimately working.
yeah, exactly.
I'm pretty,
See, for me, Emily wasn't the third. I was looking at all of us equally. Now, Riazo, on the other hand, I was definitely putting you guys in front of Riazo because I didn't have
Yeah,
any
no,
luck.
Riazo was kind of like and maybe you know,
Yeah.
it's I don't want to talk much, but I'm like he was, like you said, he was doing everything, and the fact that he spent that much time on that team, that I was taking that into account. Like this is going to
Yeah.
be tough.
Well, yeah, the fact that he spent so much time on that team, he didn't get voted out right away like Typhon did. Like, yeah,
Right.
it's volume, dude. It really did.
It did, because he orchestrated himself in there to be like they saw him as an asset
Exactly.
and an ally at the same time.
Exactly.
yes, you know, I think I'm the best player in this game, but I hope I'm correct on thinking that she wants to work with me and not Rita and because I learned to feel her duo and like she knows she's the third, but what is a final third?
People were so scared of us, though, as like a duo. Like, we were like
So
constant
yeah,
and like, honestly, I feel honored.
it felt like we were two that like, but through all those, like
Yeah.
you could see that Ashley would flip on Mary, as she said. Tabitha and her were kind of that close, and then
Yeah.
Riazo and like Emily. I think Emily was trying to get closer to Riazo than Riazo was trying to get closer to Emily. Riazo was definitely
Yeah.
just saying like, let me see how I can get Emily into the fold that I'm looking for.
Yeah, and
So,
I never felt like you flipped on me, and I've never flipped on you.
oh no, that's
Like,
what I'm saying. I was just like, yo, we ride, especially after the Jason shit. I'm like, we gotta. I
we
felt even
ride,
more
ride or die,
inclined.
bro.
I'm like, we
Ride or
ride or
die.
die. We ride together, we die together. Bad boys for life. Like that's exactly how I felt. We was on that tip.
Right? So I realized at that point, I needed to get I needed to get everybody lined. Yeah, so here it is. What me and you talk about, I need to get everybody that we have been working with on the same page.
Yeah, it's stressful, bro. It's so stressful.
It is, so, cause obviously those three, Emily, Rita, and, Dom will just pick us all off, you know, if we don't get together, so. The same people that me and you talked about, Mary, Susan, Tabitha, me, you, in whatever order.
Yeah.
So they're all down, they're all down, they're all down.
Wait, so me, you. Wait, so repeat that. Me, you.
Tabitha, Mary, and Susan.
So if I'm finished working together.
We're all gonna vote together until the final
Oh
five.
my
I know
goodness.
he's really working with both sides of the house
Yes, he is.
because he did come from that team, and they keep saying, you know, oh, we're sticking together, and so he's probably trying to stay under that.
I just don't get why she was making it sound so bad.
Like when you're technically doing the same thing.
It was like,
I think
we were
they
a
just tried to make it sound like we were being fake when it was just like, no, we
Yeah,
said
but it was
everything
like,
we were doing. And
we
that's why
were
it
a
turned into
team.
that message. I'm like, how are y'all coming at us? Like talking
Yeah,
about, oh,
because
we are kumbaya. Like we
right,
actually said everything that we were doing.
we
It wasn't
were
like a Muggsy Tabitha stab. Like
right.
Susan threw herself out there and it was just like,
Yeah,
well, shit.
we were a team though. We just
We were
didn't
like,
have
yeah,
alliance with every single player, but that doesn't mean we
exactly.
weren't looking out for the team. Like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that's like it makes it sound so bad though. Like we're just being
Well,
terrible
also trying to be
people.
under the umbrella of the final five plan, but So I don't know, I felt a little uneasy, I guess, but that's to be expected when you're, dealing with someone who has more relationships with, more parts of the house.
Sounds good. See, I like when things are connected. I'm stressed.
Yeah, I prayed about it, I meditated, I was like, God.
I came into the night. I said, "What's happening? What's happening?" Yesterday I only had a chat with Rita. It was like just a lot of information that process. She's talking about
Did you see how he lied again?
Yeah, no, Riaz is a smooth talker, man. He
Bro, he said I only had a chat with Rita, knowing damn well you talked to Emily too.
Mhm.
What's she talking about? Okay, let's see what he said to Muggsy.
Cause he had Muggsy pull the idol shit last week, right?
Yo, he said, why don't you lie to everyone?
hold on.
What's up with what's going on tonight?
I was gonna ask you, like, I don't know, honestly. People are so wishy-washy. Like, I heard
Right,
Susan.
that word, that
It's,
word.
yeah,
You can tell who's real and who's a bitch. Or
yeah.
She's still on that,
Like,
bro.
you don't want to vote the real.
Why don't you just say the names though, too? That was my thing. If you want
If you gonna
everyone
call
else,
somebody out, just say that. That's something like
yeah,
Joe. Just
like if you
what?
want everyone else to be so fucking real, bro, then why don't you say the names? Like,
Yeah. Especially with your whole New York feel, like that's
I
everybody. Like everybody's just
know. It
really
was just
blunt.
like,
She was kind of holding back at the same time.
yeah. And it's just like, just don't even hold back if you know who's being real and who's being fake. Like, just call it out.
It's like, who's more of a threat, who's not.
but I think that they're gonna gang up on me because I'm too much of like a loudmouth to everyone.
Okay, so at this point, we know what everyone's game plan is. So I'm gonna go to the vote. And so we can wrap this up.
So
Okay, here we go.
this, whew,
I
this
know
type of mess. This is the tea right here for real. This got active.
Going to begin with
Bugsy.
Dom tonight. Dom, you won your second immunity in a row, first place 2 times in a row.
Woo.
How you feeling?
Oh, feeling great, thanks. You got a unity, kind of make things a little easier, but obviously to get the cash, it was a lot of work. So, yeah. It's gonna be kind of on the side of
Oh
things.
yeah.
Tough vote tonight.
Now, Susan, there was all this talk, Susan doesn't want challenges, why is Susan not playing challenges? And then you won the immunity.
And Nick, she didn't play challenges up until this point. What you mean?
For real. And I'm like, what do we actually play after this?
So easier or harder?
This vote's good, I mean, hopefully.
Now, Muggsy, last week you called out Tabitha. She's not here. Maybe she doesn't want to hear that again. But how are you feeling this week, Muggsy?
Really good.
Are you feeling as good as you were last week? Last week you said you were feeling good. Then you seemed shocked when Dar got voted out. Well, the last round you said you were feeling good and safe. But you were surprised when Dar was voted out.
I was surprised. I didn't know anyone didn't like that.
Well, Riazo, how are you going into tonight's quiz? I think I've had the same name in my mind.
Oh shit, Dom.
Stick to it. Mary, how about you?
I have someone in mind, but
Fuck.
I'm
Ready.
kind of like, because
Okay, we're gonna wrap this up. Jason's on the podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll get jump to that.
There's some tension coming from somewhere. Emily, what's going on?
I'm just tired. There's.
She turned into such a bitch.
Yeah, tribal at 11.
Who did she call a bitch? Again?
I think she's going at Tabitha. It just feels like that. Like it always feels like she's saying something about Tabitha. So I'm sure that's what it was.
I don't feel like there's tension. I feel like, maybe because of last week, everyone's a little on their toes. Like, is anyone gonna say anything or last minute to like, flip it? Because I feel like, Muggsy made a bold statement last time and obviously the votes were, what, 6-3? So it obviously had an impact.
Ashley, where are you with tonight's vote?
It's counting on some of nothing that was said. I'm just gonna vote. I'm just, I'm really, I'm trying. Tabitha's not here, and just wondering how her vote. I'm like really thinking about how her vote.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
really where my mind is at. I can't even like the vote tonight is gonna go the way it's gonna go. But what we don't know is what Tabitha's vote's gonna be.
And it has a potential to cause a rift because it's like, we're not gonna know if that random vote was from Tabitha's ghost vote or somebody here making a bold move. So it's gonna be interesting. to see.
That is interesting because if Tabs is not here, her vote will be randomized. Can that make people want to, shake things up a little tonight?
It gets your mind like rolling in scenarios.
Depending on Tabitha,
It could go either way. I just like,
Gets you thinking, nigga, what's gonna happen tonight? What if too many people try to make a bold move?
Oh my God, I know.
Now, Rita wasn't here for the last tribal. I did a little thing. So, let's start with Riazzo. How do you feel about Rita as a player?
I feel like Rita's, a very cool person to talk to. And a great, honest player in the game. Someone that you can approach information and stays loyal.
Emily, what are your thoughts on Rita?
I think Rita's awesome. Like when you talk to Rita, you start to forget it's a game because she's just like such a bubbly person, such engaging conversations. Like, she's really smart because I think she's developed such genuine connections with all of us. Like, and that's like a great strategy,
Yeah, Rita, you're so cool.
We all like Rita. Rita's so cool. I want to be Rita when I grow up. But yeah.
Like Emily was your child and Riazzo was mine, and then it was just like that's how it felt. Like they were like the little kids does to like try to mature.
Turn on each other and you don't know.
I know.
Emily's gonna you in the ass and like chew.
Oh, hey.
I don't know if I'll be doing that. But
Just wait. You don't wanna.
Good night.
You don't even know. You don't see it. Be real. Be real, Emily. Isn't that what
that is how I feel. That is how I feel. I can feel that way about Rita, but I might not feel that way about everybody.
Rita, how do you feel about Susan as a player? Oh.
I mean, she was part of our original crew. It sucks that like I got merged into the other team. And you just kind of have to like go based off of what everyone said when, Jason got voted out. But I did tell Susan there's no hard feeling. As I think the word was spreading around that Rita's mad and all this other stuff. And I'm like, no, not really. You have to do what you have to do at the end of the day. So, and it's a game.
Rita, how do you feel about Ashley as a player?
Ash, I feel indifferent. We did have the first conversation and I feel like,
That was a good word to use right there.
After the whole like Jason debacle, I feel like it kind of like has switched around and I definitely don't have trust, but it is what it is. But see, why would you get offended that I don't trust you?
Like, hey, you're not on my team. And different, I thought was the word to use. It's not saying I'm not against you, but I'm not for you at the same time.
Right, because it was like when I pulled you like a little bit of a lifeline, hey, Jason, trust Ashley, and then he kind of ran with that essentially. And it definitely was solidified after Tabitha said, hey, you can trust Ashley. So it wasn't it wasn't like I don't think you're a bad person. It was just like you backfired on what I had told
We backstab Jason if Jason kind of put his trust in you to even give you the information to make sure that you're safe.
And
to get Susan out.
And I think that's the whole reason why he did what he did was because I told him to trust her and and it backfired. And that's how I look at it. And see, and that's what I was telling Ashley, like if me and Emily would have went after Tabitha with Dar and Muggsy, that same reciprocation of like weirdness of like, why did Tabitha get voted out of all people, would have reciprocated on like their end, where it was like it would have been weird. So like, you know, like that's like, it wasn't like a mean thing, it was just like I just didn't trust her.
Right. Facts. It's legit.
Or do like to hold their cards pretty close to their chest, so how does one figure out votes when that is happening?
I would have to get back to you on that because I'm not sure.
Mary.
How are you figuring
Get back
out
to you on that. That's such a Mary answer.
Going what everybody else is saying? Is it follow?
You know what? She kind of was.
Based on how I'm
She kind of
feeling,
was, right? She was like
get really
essentially whoever talked to Mary, whoever got to Mary first, which was like Ashley on the originals team. That's kind of who she followed through like the whole season. Like
if Mary was with our team, we could have Mary in our alliance. Mary would have definitely did what we would have felt.
Yeah. And she would have been like, and she just would have been that player. Like she, you know, she would have been like that loyal player. She would have
Loyal
like
player under the radar, play some games, but know that hey, we can count on her vote because she's not gonna be doing anything like a Riazo, or she's not gonna get and try to know people. She's gonna be like, okay, if you people trust me, I'll roll with you guys. Very introverted.
Yeah, and honestly, like I didn't go to Mary for like kind of like a vote or anything like that, as far as like trying to get her.
I just didn't think she could switch at that point. She was too committed.
Right, exactly. And like, and you know, it's like you can kind of just tell when that's gonna be a thing. So it's just like, why even kind of try at that point, you know?
Exactly.
So,
one answer like that covers all.
Muggsy, do you think there's a follow the leader thing going on?
Yeah.
Who's the leader?
And the next one like drops out and drops out and drops out until the last one, you know, figures out that to say that. And then everyone thinks, no, they're my best friend. They're my best friend. No one's best friends. They're gonna call each other and come out after this.
Dom, is their best friends in this game?
I mean, shit, I think Rita's back, so I mean, I'm fine.
Yeah, go fly out there, go hang out. Is it ever gonna happen? It's never gonna happen.
Muggsy took it way too far.
Muggsy was like, yo, what are you? Yeah, Muggsy tried to change it to like we was on a dating show. Muggsy was like, what are you doing?
Said the same thing to Emily, and I was like, bro, okay, this is like going too.
Yeah, man, that was the thing about Muggsy. Like you said, there's two sides of Muggsy. Muggsy be like, oh, let's talk about the astrology. And then Muggsy get right back to her like, yo, Muggsy is the nuts. I don't think we can even even if we got Muggsy on our squad, I don't think we're gonna be able to control her.
I know. We just would have had to work with her. That was it.
We just had to work with her and just deal with whatever consequence came, because she would have been like, you know what, fuck you guys. And I think that's kind
it
of
would have just been acceptance. And you know what? We could have been like, Muggsy, okay, we get that you are this New Yorker and you are this strong person. However, girl, you gotta just
look at you where you're at right now, for as far as the team standpoint. They're gunning for you, and we're trying to bring you the lifeline. Yeah, and that probably would have been stronger than Riazo at the same time. In hindsight.
What if like 6 hours away?
I mean, I will say, people who pick these games are half bad.
Yeah, so that would be not.
I feel like, in my opinion, I feel like it's kind of hard to vote someone out because I think everyone here likes each other. So I kind of think it's kind of hard to see someone go because everyone here is so friendly and their presence is, so welcoming.
Well, and I mean, you have to understand, like, I feel like your guys' team, like, no offense to you guys were definitely like in more of a scramble than our team. Like, our team was very united, like, in the beginning. So
that's what I told them.
So we're about to look at Susan's face. Susan, look at Susan. Susan is just knocked out or tired. Sometimes Susan's face is just like,
zoom in though.
Damn. Like I said, indoor Susan, outdoor Susan. When Susan go outside, that's a different Susan.
Oh, the zoom in kills me.
You guys, it's funny that you call yourself calling me out, and I did nothing to you for that at all. Well,
but I wasn't calling her out again. Like that's just like her manipulating.
That's that projection. That's the projection of feeling like something is. You're like, I just said that your team was this, and I didn't say you in particular. I said you are indifferent, and that was that. But this is where I was just like, I felt all the time like, this is the takeout.
Yeah.
Susan about this. And
Yeah.
so then for you to now sit here and say that, knowing that you guys were not as cohesive as you were making out to be.
Well, when I talked to
Amazing.
Susan though, when I did talk to Susan, she said that she spoke to you and that's when the vote orchestrated between Jason. So-
Yeah, because
That-
they clued me in.
Orchestrating it.
No, that's not.
I didn't orchestrate it, it was the truth. I mean, she told me to.
But she orchestrated it.
Right.
Like, what else do I need to say with that? That's like yeah. There's nothing else to say.
If she hadn't told me that, I wouldn't be sitting here right now.
After when me and Mary came into the group before we even lost the challenge, they came to us, Bob and Jason, and said, "Susan's our target."
Yeah, and that's understandable. And if
But
she
when
wants
Susan was
to
How can that be understandable when we were so close? Like we were not gonna do anything as a team to
I'm
do anything.
confused with.
Because you said you don't play.
Why are we arguing right now?
Play, it was just weird.
yeah, but I mean, yeah, but that's the whole thing. Is like Ashley, you weren't there from the beginning, and she
But I don't
only, but
say
she
that
only
broke
played.
your
She
trust.
did only play
I
one
don't think it's a
game,
good time to talk about this right now.
and so that's.
I think it's a great time.
I think it's
It's like burn this motherfucker down.
Nick's like, I'm all about the drama.
Yeah, Nick's like, this is gonna be one of the highest rated episodes. It's like, nah, keep this shit going.
I know. Thing is like you weren't there from the beginning. She only did play one game, and she wasn't speaking up to play other games, and that's the truth.
Bullshit. No, yeah, I was. Yeah, I did.
Okay, so in retrospect, what other games did Susan play that I can remember that she played with the team, not separately?
I don't remember. That's exactly why I
don't-
came down to that, because it was just like, hey, Susan, you're here, but you not want to play, and it's just like you played that first one, and then it's just like then you said you ready to not be here. So it's just kind of like you damn near, you know what I'm saying? Like you are
Right.
kind of putting yourself out there, and then you're trying to make it seem like we forced you to do that when Jason didn't
Right.
force you to do that, and I definitely didn't force
Right.
you to do that. You only
Well,
became the
and-
target because, like you said, there was trust for Ashley that was invalid. Which you said
Right.
directly to her, and she
Right.
tried to flip it and say, "Well, your team was this." It's just like, nah, technically, that
Right.
that is now being changed to something else.
Right. Yeah, I just don't remember Susan speaking up to want to play another game. The only one I remember specifically was charades, right?
Mhm.
And that's all I remember truthfully. Like it's like a no shade to Susan. That's just like, hey, that's like
Yeah.
I remembered up until that point. And it was like during this whole like tribal, it was like no, she did something different and you are remembering wrong. And I was like, no, I don't remember anything else differently. Like someone needs to like intervene and like tell me something else, because I'm like, that's all I remembered up until that point. So
I will say, Dom, I mean, can legends say, oh, we were so close and honest?
Was that still Legends? I mean, it was kind of like the scramble.
Guys,
version
what if
of
it's bad?
Legends.
It's like we're still trying to say that legends is so close, and then you
But
were voting for
We
Susan.
was good, but then
Ooh.
literally said the day before that.
and now you got called out by Nick.
But he did put me out right there on country right there. It's like,
Right.
damn.
Like, so.
I said, look, you guys could play. I said, when they came on,
Like, you already gonna, like, put
No,
yourself
she
out there
was
like that? Like, how you
she
think
felt
y'all
bad
feel?
that
Last say something.
bad because she didn't know you guys were talking about.
Shut up, Rouse.
This is good. The Moxie telling Rihanna to shut up is underrated. Because I was about to go in, and then Mike's like, "Shut up! You got grown people talking." And this is definitely some Family Feud right here.
Lexi was like, I'm all about this shit right now. Shut up.
Yeah. Mike's got her drink in her hand. She's like, "Fuck it, keep it going."
And I was protecting her by letting her
Shit
know.
is hilarious.
that was after the fact, that you guys played that game.
No, we didn't make the pact
I
after
said, are
that.
you fine with things? Are you really want to go? When she said, I'm willing to.
Whatever
stay,
said,
when
the conversation we
I
had
gave her the ammo that.
Got a gang up on
That's
Susan,
no
though. She
different.
didn't do anything.
I armed Susan with what she needed to fight for herself. That's all I did.
But guys, listen,
Again, no one was ganging up on her.
No, you and Ashley said, "What about me and Mary?" She did not care that much about Susan. She cared more for me.
Right,
And it's
right,
just like, be
right,
honest with yourself. Like, come on.
right, right.
Susan, you knew by us taking Susan out, we was gonna take your ass out anyway after that. And we could have did it the other way, but
Right.
that was better on your part. But don't say it was Susan, I gave you
All
the
I
arm.
wanna
You gave
say is
yourself the
like
arm.
all I want to say is if anyone else from the cast is watching this, no, we were not ganging up on Susan. It
Mm.
almost felt as if, for me personally, like that Ashley and Susan were speaking to me or like they were attacking me. And then it was like I wasn't able to defend myself or respond to it. And it was like that's all I was doing was responding to it. And like, do you want me to lie in your face and say, hey, I do trust you? Like that
Right.
wouldn't
I'm giving you the actual facts of no, I don't.
yeah, that wouldn't have been truthful for me, like, because I didn't feel that trust after the whole the vote with or voted vote orchestrated with Jason. So I didn't feel that trust with Ashley, and it wasn't like I thought Ashley was a bad person. I thought she was playing a very strategic game, and that's like when I kind of woke up from that, and that's what I meant from that. So there was no malice there. And Susan, there was no malice from her, like not playing any of the games really. It was just all up until that point. The facts were, is all I remember was her playing one game. So it wasn't like, hey, I'm attacking Susan. Those were just like the facts. Like I'm very analytical. So like when I'm going through computing information, like I do say it out loud. And because my voice is strong, people automatically
Yeah.
associate like being
The
a
tone with like
or
you said, like a
aggressive.
discipline. And I think
Yeah.
Ashley went straight to Vince mode. And it's just like then she went
Yeah.
when she attacked it, I'm like, you are not about to talk to me like this. So we about to set it off.
She definitely was attacking you a bit, and it was just like it was like again, it was like a very
Yeah,
villain
it was villain role, and I'm like,
situation,
why are they trying to put me as the heel now?
but
Because I'm like, I'm not even. I'm telling.
everyone was playing their own game, and it wasn't a
Mhm.
villain or victim situation. Everyone was playing their own game. So everyone was trying to be safe. Ashley and Mary were trying to be safe. You and Jason were trying to be safe. And then Susan was just kind of like the middle person. And like,
Susan just fell into the trap. There, like I said, Jason, in hindsight, could have changed the
yeah.
whole thing.
And that's what Jason said with one of the reaction videos is he said that he wished that he could have taken that back and had that one last meeting with Susan. And I agreed with him, like, hey, you could have just like solidified that panic
Hmm.
had. And so
Bring it into the, and then and then we good. Because when Jason got put out, I just did not see it coming. I felt like
right,
he had enough to bring that, but I think
right,
he just fell on the. I think I just wrapped up into those conversations with the other team.
right. So Riazzo, no one was attacking Susan. We were having an adult conversation.
Mhm. Right, exactly. That's because they felt like that's grandma, you know. Right? So Riazzo and Sus and Emily were like, "Hey, she feels like grandma cookies or something." They
Well,
said,
and see, that's the other thing too, is like we were in such an age gap as well. Like
"Oh
Rihanna
yeah,
was 19. I think Emily
right,
was 22.
right,
I'm like in my 30s, you're in your 30s. Like we're
right,
all way past like over the age. And so it
yeah,
was like they were like the youngest people. So I don't think they understood like the
right." Like this could just be a
conversation.
constructive conversation. Like this,
So,
That has nothing to do with you, Rita. I actually like where I was okay working with you until, that display of, you feel like.
and but see, that's the other part of it too. She's saying she was okay with working with me, but not I wasn't even in her final 5 list when she mentioned that, and I
uh,
definitely was in her final 3 list. So it
mm.
was like that even if you're okay with working with me,
So like
you
I'm
weren't
giving her like, really, Ashley? That's what you're
yeah,
saying? Because you
right.
definitely ain't trying
Right,
to
you
work
weren't
with
like you weren't
Rita.
putting me up there on your list, which is fine. That's fair. Like you weren't on my list either, but it's like but at least be honest about
And then, yeah,
that.
exactly. Don't sugarcoat this shit. Like, yeah, come on. Just say,
Just
hey,
say
my
it.
squad is this. This is who I got running.
Yeah,
You got
yeah.
yours, and that's what I'm going
Yeah,
against.
this is who I want
Because
to
I
change.
think that's what me and you were doing. Like, we were just like, okay, well, if that's
Yeah,
what it is, this is what
yeah.
it's going to
This
be.
is what it's going to be. Like it wasn't like I don't think she's a bad person. I don't think any of these
Mm.
people. I don't
No,
think
exactly. I'm like,
we're
this is
bad.
part of the game. This is part of
Yeah.
the strategy.
Yeah.
Me because the whole thing is, I did not attack you. I was giving her ammo to fight for
But
herself.
Jason was a part of our original team, so that's.
Well, they were guys.
That's the whole thing. It's not personal. That's just what I gathered. And I don't want you guys to take that personal because Jason was a part of our original team. And that's just how I feel, and I can't go based on how I feel about something. I'm not attacking Susan. The truth is the truth.
Go ahead. I mean, it don't matter. Knowing who you are right now, so.
And she.
Do you see like the other part of it too? Is like they did not allow me to talk because they were so
We're
offended.
so hurt. Like Susan got so
Yeah.
personally into, and it's just like
Yeah.
Susan,
But
understand it.
and that conversation, the terms I should have used was like, yes, we were all a team, but you, Emily, I, and Jason were the alliance because that's who we made the alliances with, and Riazo and Susan did not make an alliance with you or me. I can't speak for Emily, but like I know she didn't. I know both of them did not make an alliance with us, and we didn't make one with them. So that's like that was that whole scenario, and I guess I could have like switched those words up a little bit more clearly.
To my knowledge, she did not speak up that much. So.
Okay, well, check it out. I'm still here, so I don't know what happened there.
Also,
So Susan's like, bang.
I was,
And when again, it's like no one's saying any like.
But
we're
that
not-
felt like Susan's like, bang. You know what I'm saying? Mic
Yeah,
drop.
it was
That
like
was
I
some
need
mic drop right
I
there.
need to have this last word because like I feel so affected right now, and like
Yeah.
but like seriously, Susan, Ashley, if y'all are watching this, this is not personal. It was a
It
game.
really was just a good game. Like,
So fucking good, and I
yeah,
commend you on your game playing seriously.
right. Right. It's just funny to see it like that. That's
and now we're in the individual stage, so that doesn't really matter. And what's happening at this tribal and the present is things that
Again, Riazo still twisting this game because he was in individual mode. We
Mhm.
were still in a team mode. So he
and he's
was
saying that just because he's playing both. Right there, it's just so
yeah,
stable. That's why I'm just laughing. Like, here go Riazo
I
coming in to say some "We are the world, we are the children" shit, and it's just like they're gonna eat this shit up.
know.
They're gonna eat this shit up.
Oh man. It's
let's
so
come on,
funny.
let's play.
it still matters. It gives people a reason to
It-
the way they want to play it.
Yeah, but come on, you don't gotta argue about it.
Well, we're not arguing.
No, no,
I'm
no.
answering.
Come on, y'all gotta get.
He's so young.
So young, exactly. When those get to those conversations, it's just like they're not used to it.
He's so young. I think the only one that was kind of like more angry about it was Susan.
Yeah, even yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it wasn't like it wasn't like we were trying to argue or anything.
Oh my God.
I was.
Susan, I was trying to stand up for you.
So that was what
I know, no, but I'm just saying that I didn't speak up.
It was also told like on the other
Susan,
side.
I think you're doing a great job.
Thank
It
you.
was also reiterated back that like Susan was kind of throwing herself on the sword. Not in a like vote me out, I don't want to play type of way, but maybe in a like everyone's so kind, like I feel bad, I don't want it to come down this.
Yeah.
And maybe that's where her name even got brought up in the first place. That's why it was like
It was right there.
I think that's how it started. I don't think people are out to get you, Susan. I think that's
Yeah.
maybe.
I don't care if they're out to get me. I mean, you guys are basically showing who you really are right now, so I
I feel like you can't
It's
really
hard.
get mad for not kind of stepping up when you have the,
What'd you say, Dom?
Susan is hurt right there. She is
She's
taking
hurt.
that shit to heart.
And I honestly, yeah, like Susan, if you're seeing this, I am so sorry. It wasn't like I was trying to hurt you. It was like
Yeah.
analytically like doing a play-by-play of what the fuck happened before all of this aired. So
Re-roll the tape. That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
yeah.
such well-spoken people like Jason, and you're already winning, you're on a win streak, people already volunteering. So I feel like she was comfortable enough and trusted in her teammates to get it done. So I feel like you have to look
I was. That's exactly right.
That's what I thought.
But I feel like everyone's good. It's all good now. Okay.
Ryan got a
All right.
time on his tribal. So any final questions for each other before this vote?
No. great. Well, then it is time to go.
I'm like,
I love how Tabitha missed this whole
Right,
Right.
Tabitha could have been, because I know Bugsy would have came at Tabitha if Tabitha was there. She
and
couldn't have been able
I
to hold
yeah,
herself.
she would have. And I missed the other heated one, which I thought was hilarious.
Change the whole dynamic when you throw in just another person with that energy.
Right. Yeah, I think Muggsy definitely would have came at her for
But
like
yeah,
this
she'd
last.
have been like, yeah, especially at the boat. Oh yeah, should have got her last words out.
Oh man.
he wasn't a little bit.
I wonder why he didn't share all the votes.
Yeah. And why I got muted right here? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why you can hear him right there.
Yeah, because I thought we were gonna like see who voted who, you know? So it's just kind of like,
Right, which was weird. It just
well,
I
Wayne.
still don't see, um, I still don't see him as part of it.
You have to vote you out. My bad.
I'm gonna vote Muncio because I feel that she's kind of shaking things up in the game. I'm not really sure, like, moving forward where her intentions are at. If Dom's having community, like those were two people that were definitely like on my radar.
Alright, I do wanna say that Tabitha did vote in time, so I don't know if she's gonna.
Dom, how did you feel about you being on Tabitha's radar without like the whole like because she wasn't part of like the whole Mary and Ashley orchestration. She was just more of like kind of like following her, I don't know, like I guess her intuition about like you being a good player. So like what was your thoughts about that?
I really felt like that was also because of that vote at the same time with Dar. Like you said, I think there was already her apprehension of I may have voted for her. She's like, okay, if he's winning, I got to get him out. So I could see her standpoint from that, and she's from the other team, so
Right.
I could already see that based on how that was going. Like I felt like if for this challenge not winning, I could have been right there on that chopping block because it's just like they're gonna gun. You know what I'm saying? They got to figure out how to break this up. So I kind of
Right.
understood Tabitha, and that's why when I was talking to her, I was like, "Listen, Tabitha, you know what I'm saying? I don't know you yet. Let me just kind of get to understand you because I felt like Tabitha was something to where I'm like, between Tabitha and Riaz, I'm like, maybe Tabitha is not as tight with them because
Right.
she'll realize that okay, actually, I've been kind of with you in a way that I haven't gone against you, and so I think
Right.
that's what it was.
So we gotta wrap this up because I think
Yeah.
I'm actually running out of time. But yeah, so
So,
Muggsy, is the one that gets voted out. We're just gonna like give you guys that little
yeah,
tea.
that's
You
the
can watch
tea.
the video.
And
But
she goes out just like on Half Baked. Fuck
Yeah.
you, you're cool. That's how she went out.
Oh wait. No. Wait, there's more. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I mean, do you have any final thoughts before like next week?
We'll just
Like
say next week gonna be hotter because you can just see like the level of tension and anxiety and like you said, angst is only rising. And as the competitions get there and you see these idols and challenges, it just makes like you said, I think I'll have like an aha moment next week watching because it's just like it's just gonna be one of those. So tune
absolutely.
in and check it out.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think we're both gonna have that aha moment. We're like, that's okay, now we get it.
Exactly.
Okay. Well,
Oh.
thanks for sticking this episode out with me.
Yeah, I'm gonna check the podcast out.
I hope everyone, all the cast members see this, and I hope like some of you guys join next week. And I really hope
We'll
that
get
there's
Emily, get them all on Gadar.
yeah, and I really hope there's no hostility that anyone is feeling. Again, like we are doing a raw reaction
Yeah.
and there is no like mute button, so you can come on here and speak your piece.
Speak your piece, get it out.
Adults. And yeah, like it's just
Oh,
a
year
lot
ago, in hindsight, like
we're just like, it's fun like doing these reactions and just like getting everyone's like input about like kind of doing like a rollback of like what happened. So yeah, hope we see you guys next week. All right, Don. I mean,
all right,
Don.
I'll let you
Bye.
Bye.
Let's see.